I feel loopy after 3 days of
I
this work.
know.
I just have to tell you. All right, here we go, guys. I did start the string. Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're starting the day with Carolyn Reyes and
Reyes.
Reyes.
Reyes,
Yes,
yes.
thank you.
She
Good
she mixed our
morning.
names together.
Whew.
Yeah, I think
But
so,
And
yes.
Lianca Reina.
All right, okay.
And
So,
I am truly woke up in bliss, floating and dancing today. And it's been just an amazing morning, you guys. But I have to say, sometimes the words seem to be
yes.
speaking in light language sometimes. We're going to do the best we can do and just have an amazing day.
let's do
Uh,
it.
let's go.
Yes.
Lianca, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, this morning I have a little bit of woo and celebrity news.
Mhm.
So last night we went to go see the show for Tiffany Haddish,
Mhm.
and it was one of those full circle moments because just yesterday I had mentioned her on the show, talking about how she recently just scored the Sports Illustrated magazine and feature cover. She says she's the first comedian that's ever graced the cover of the magazine, and then the fourth Black woman to grace the cover. And she says, y'all, she says she manifested that shit. And I thought it was really funny because she talked about last night. She was saying, look, if you are not following your dreams, you need to be owning your businesses. You need to be, don't tell your dreams to everybody else because they'll start finding ways to squash your dreams and giving you all these bad ideas. And she talked about her ex would tell her, Tiffany, nobody wants to hear that comedy stuff. I mean, Tiffany Haddish, if you're not familiar, she was one of the stars of the wildly successful movie Girls Trip, and they talked about how she's got another movie coming out. They're taping in Africa,
Mhm.
and it will be with Queen Latifah, Jada Pickett, who else? I forget the other lady's name, but she said it's going to be super funny. The biggest takeaway here, though, is that when you put something out into the field, and she said that she wanted to manifest this before the age of 50. And of course, some people have issue with the word manifesting, but she said she really put it out into what we call the field. She said she had it on her vision board. She said she spoke it into existence. I was thinking, you know what? If it works for Tiffany Haddish, why not for us? So let's just take a little bit away from that. And that's what I got for the Woo and Celebrity News.
Thank you,
It was so
Okay. So manifesting,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
which we know that you, Carolyn, have a much different way of manifesting through the field. And I'm
Yes,
really excited to have this conversation. I heard a little bit about some of your multi-dimensional scans,
yes.
and they are fascinating. And you are fascinating, and your work is absolutely incredible. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about her book, Encoded in Light, which is almost like a very, very large textbook in my world. So I marked a few pages that I just thought it was just really juicy.
Well, let's dive right in. Two things. I know that you were recently featured on Goop, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's wildly successful podcast and her blog. She, brings in lots of different kind of, I think, woo kind of techniques and different. She features maybe healthy products on her show. But why do you think that there's more now a push to this type of work in the mainstream? And before you answer that, I also want to just have the audience take us through a little bit about this accident that you had, that how you were came into this world more awake, if you will, and what that really brought you to and how it brought to your work.
Yes. So first of all, I need to correct something. I still didn't feature on Goop.
Okay.
So because Gwyneth has a whole lot of going on with her new movies, they
Yeah,
postpone it constantly, but
sure.
they are still coming back with new datas to get me on Goop.
Perfect.
But we need to be patient, right? So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
What's
so
patience? I thought there was no time in this multi-dimensional
well, there
field.
is no time. That's why we just have to take it how it comes. And And the thing is, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with my accident? Do you want to
I
start
think
with my...
that the audience is probably curious how you really are capable of doing these multidimensional scans.
Shall
And
we start there? Okay,
yes,
yeah.
let's start there.
So I was born like this. I never knew something
Mm.
different. The thing is that I have been born into a very hostile family situation, like deeply hostile.
Mhm.
And the only place where I was safe was back in the womb of my mother.
Mm.
So what did I do? I remember, even I can still see myself laying in this little crib, and then next to me was my father, and he was the hostile person, and that energy was so dark. And my mother was next to that, and the only thing I knew was I need to get back in that womb, and because there
Mm.
am I safe. So that is what I did, and I did that so often that she never could wake me up anymore for food or whatever, and because I just needed to be in her energy. But meanwhile, when I was there, I could sense her, I could feel everything about her, and so later on. This is a nice story. When she was saying to my father, like, "Listen, I have a headache," and then I said, "But you don't, because I don't feel it." And then she was not really happy with those comments of me, of course. But I really could step into her body and
Oh,
just
interesting.
feel everything what she was feeling. And
Mm.
I was just a very open child, very transparent, always telling my truth and hiding nothing. And then I just said, "No, but you don't have a headache at all today."
She's like, oh no,
Yeah,
don't tell him
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
But you were just telling what you were experiencing and you
I
didn't know
just
any
was
different.
telling my truth, like I always do. And so the thing is that what I do in those scans is that I scan the multidimensional field. So we are energy, right? We are just compressed energy into matter. And so our body is, to be honest, the last layer of the energy of our soul. And so what I do is that I just step into your field, and in fact, I transport your field to my field, and I feel everything in my body what you feel in yours.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that's why I don't want to know anything about you. I
Oh,
need to
Mhm.
be completely blind. I don't want to have any medical history. I don't want to have anything what happened within your life. I don't want to know about your traumas. I don't want to know your name even. The only thing what is weirdly important is the gender, because the 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 inside the prostate feels like a womb. That is really
oh,
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
So and also what is also very important is that when I step into a body and I can feel hormones working, neurotransmitters working, I can feel your brain working, if neurons are communicating with each other or not. I can feel your depressions, I can feel your sadness, I can bound and bind that to trauma, I can find your trauma, I can find your soul, I can tell everything about your soul and about your multidimensional past and future, and just everything, but also all pains you have, all organs I scan, how they work, how much they are,
wow.
the genes, how they are snipped and they can't work like they need to work. And so, and then when I am completely, for example, a person has a too fast thyroid or something, and you take medications for this. So, and then this field is restored. So, and then for me, it feels perfect. So that is the only thing what is a little bit that I sometimes need to ask, okay, are you taking medication for a thyroid? Because I hear that something should be wrong, but I don't sense it because it is taken care for with medications.
Mhm.
So, and that is the only thing what sometimes happened. And then when I am done with the scan, so I scan you on energetical level, soul level, emotional, mental, and total physical level. And when I'm done with that, I make, because I'm an epigenetic specialist for children, by the way, and for adults.
Mhm.
And then I make a full protocol to restore your body and
Wow.
to recalibrate your DNA. And what I have been noticing in the 35 years that I do this work is that spirituality is nothing more than remembering who you are. Because
Yes.
as a soul, you are completely here. So there's nothing to find, there's nothing to develop. We are all the same spark of source, really. The only thing
Mhm.
is that between our remembrance and awareness, there can be a complete body who is not able to translate you as a soul anymore. So, for example, if you have a lack in communication within your brain cells and your feelings are not connecting with your mental part, or you have lack of serotonin, or you have I don't know, you are wired with ADHD, with lack of GABA, you have too much glutamate. So then you have a big problem because, we are all envisioning our life because this is really not existing.
Mhm.
So when we get the energy of our environment and our brain need to translate that into a visual for us so that we can live in that visual, but our brain is not capable fully to do it, then the field where you are living in starts to be distorted.
Yeah.
So what I really learned in my 35 years working with very high souls is that when you have this perfect, healthy body with everything aligned, you can start to translate and manifest your life hundreds times better. But also, you can start to remember fully through the amnesia veils who you are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And actually, that is my work. That is what I do
Yeah.
in this
We
life.
we often say the veils have lifted. Is
Yeah,
that one of the words that you use? Do you
yeah.
feel that you have, I guess, like more veils to go through? I mean, I feel like there's 101 questions I want to ask.
Yeah,
Is it okay
go.
if I just go?
You go.
Okay, great. So yeah, a lot of us, I want to get to scans. Is
Yeah.
that something we can do today? Real quick, babies, little short scans on for the audience or a group scan.
The thing is, I can, of course, I can scan, but the
Mhm.
problem is that I'm connected now with so many energies.
Uh-huh.
So I need to be able to focus on one and
Sure.
then start to scan that person. But that is a little bit difficult because there are so many vibrations here. But let me see if there is a person who I can connect with deeply.
Mm.
Um, so this girl, Lakita Pierce, she is in a sort of way accessible for me.
Mm.
Okay.
So if she can put her feet on the floor, so that I can connect with you, and maybe you can let me hear if you are doing this, or is she now scared and did she run
Write
away?
it in the chat.
So I don't know where she went now, but
What is her name
okay.
again?
Lakita, she was here down in the Lakitas or something. But
Okay.
I'm
anyhow,
here.
Okay, there
Okay,
she
there
moved.
she is.
Lakita Pierce. So can
Wow.
you? So she is a very high sensitive soul.
Okay.
So she is, to be honest, a soul whose origin is coming from the 9D. So that is a very, very high soul. But with her, she senses this, but she can't express it fully because she is blocked there. I see that there are problems with her inner children, so that she is not really connecting deeply enough who she is really deep inside. But there is also a serotonin problem, like I just was explaining, and that she sometimes has the feeling that her emotions are running too high, and that then at that same moment her mental capacity, so her realization, her reality, can't bring her to peace. For the rest, she has also a difficulty in carb digestion. So I feel that her upper stomach is often reacting on foods. So also her digestive system is lacking a DPP-4 enzyme, and a DPP-4 enzyme is an enzyme that takes the exorphins out of foods. So the most blocking thing for our serotonin and our brain communication and our endorphins, our happy hormones, are
Yeah.
exorphins in food. So the foods who are with soy, with spinach, with gluten, with milk, with all kinds of dairy, they are filled with exorphins. This is not a problem, but the only thing is that you need to have a DPP-4 enzyme to be able to digest it. But when your microbiome wall is not really totally functioning again because you have too much gram-negative bacteria, there is a lack of that DPP-4 enzyme, and then the exorphins start to block the endorphins in your brain.
Okay.
And the endorphins are not only our happy hormones, but they are also the ones who make our brains communicate with each other. So they are the synapses between our neurons, not only the endorphins, also all the neurotransmitters are doing this. But the thing is that when she can feel then less herself, she can feel that sometimes she is on a real hype and then she's on a real low. But that is also because she has a gram-negative bacteria in her digestive system. So for the rest, she's a very sweet, sweet, sweet soul. She's so extremely sensitive. So I would actually love to speak with her, but you don't have.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes
here.
they're, oh, okay,
She
she's
can talk.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you here? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you are such an extreme high sweet soul, and you have a little bit of difficulties in really being that soul in this life, so that you can express that exactly who you are. And the thing is that when you would stay away from all the exorphins in food, you will be able to very much more communicate in your brain with all your feelings and with your mental capacities in your brain. And then you can translate so much better everything what you feel. So what I also feel within you is that you have a blocked throat chakra. So these are two things. First of all, you have this incoming stream of wisdom because that is very natural for you, but then you need to be able to translate it into words. And that is still sometimes difficult for you to put the words on what you feel. But then there is also a trust issue that you can't trust people with your deepest feelings. And that's why you are blocked on your throat chakra too. Then I feel that your lungs are a little bit compressed. So when your lungs are compressed, you are not taking the field what you need to take into in your life. So not your place, because when you are this high soul, you also have a mission. But your mission is still a little bit unclear, but I think that will come. And I can only advise you that you start to be your own truth frequency. So, because you know what your truth absolutely is, because you have this incoming knowledge somewhere inside of your heart and your soul, you also can feel that you are a special person and that your soul has a special mission. And I really, really would advise you to really start to follow that, and also take some probiotics for your intestinal wall. And I would take a complex for taking the gram-negative bacteria away. So the candida, what you have inside of that microbiome wall. And please then stay away from all the exorphins. And then what you really need to do is, before you go to sleep, is that you say to yourself, only source comes in, all distortions stay out. Because that clears your complete system. Everybody can do this, by
Yes,
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that clears your complete system. Only source comes in. And then you can start to be this coherent person, because coherence is actually the state what we need to reach as souls. And when you are coherent, your energy is not bent by identity anymore. So the thing is, what we all do, and what you also do a little bit too much still, Lakita, is that when you have pain, you start to own the pain. Instead of you saying, like, I am not that pain, because my soul is something really different. So we need to start to see the best what we can do. If I talk too much, please stop, make me talk. But this is
This
what
is
I am.
fascinating.
I'm sorry. So
Absolutely fascinating.
the thing is that when you are coherent, you are completely aware of everything, but you don't bend your identity to it. So the thing is when you start to own something as something what you are, a victim or your past, or then you bend your coherence away into the fear system. And the fear system is our 3D system. So, and then we are just starting to connect too much with our 3D reality, and that is where manifestation stops, by the way. So only when you are complete coherent, you are a vertical line of source energy going through your body. You need to embody that, and then you can ground this in the crystalline grid.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the thing is what I teach my persons is, when you really are having this high sensitive soul, and I see so many here, Dana also is such a high
Yeah,
sensitive.
she's one of our inner
Yes, she
circle
is.
Yeah,
people.
it's
Yeah.
unbelievable high. And
Yeah,
but the thing is
that's
that Dana,
accurate.
and I'm sorry, I don't want to expose you seriously, but you are still
She's
also
probably
not,
okay.
yeah, you are also not completely grounded in your body. So the thing is what I teach my persons is, we should not go up. We don't have to find anything anymore. Seriously, we don't have to meditate or to do whatever of courses or reading even my book. You don't have to. Seriously, because everything is inside of you. I did this book. I channeled it, but
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
fact,
Yes.
Dana, you can do it too. And Lakita, you can do it too.
Technically,
Because
I think we all could do it if we have the
oh,
right. Yeah.
because
I don't
we
think
are
that we
exactly.
came in knowing that though.
Yes.
And I think
Sorry.
that's where I don't think that we came in knowing that we can do that. And I think that's where people really are coming to learn stuff from people like you or joining our show because we
Yeah.
want a little more, I don't know if it's permission, but information that helps us know that this is actually our science, right? It's actually how we were born into this world. But I think there's been so many, maybe if it's conspiracy against, and this is my theories, but against having people know that they have so much innate power. And now that there's more information, now that there's more people like you stepping forward and sharing a transmission, channeled books, back then there wasn't this safe space to have
Do
this
it.
type of information be
Yeah.
so readily available.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and that's why I'm excited that Goop invited you. And you know what?
It really gives
like
like
Goop, we're
massive
better.
exposure.
Massive exposure. No,
I-
I'm teasing, but the idea here is that it gives the people power back to themselves and allows them to fully like start to understand the complexities of what and how simple as well as our innate being, our innate origin, how we came to be truly in this world.
Yeah.
I think another thing too is that
I
if you
wanted
go
to
back-
kind of, if that's okay, there was a part in the book that I, marked and I just kind of wanted to be with it because I think that you said it, but I really want the audience to really get this. And I guess there's other questions that need to unfold by me asking it. But you say the DNA layer regulates emotional coherence and begins dissolving fear-based frequencies. You said that a little bit when you were doing the scan.
Yeah.
And then you go on to say the 6D to the 8D layers manage crystalline light communications between planetary and solar systems. She does Mystic Space Weather News with all the solar flares.
Yeah.
And then even goes on to say that the 9 to 12D layers form the structural blueprint
Exactly.
of new planetary bodies. And I find that fascinating. Although when I read it, there is a part of me that feels like I know that
Yeah.
too, but not in that defined specific way.
Mm-hmm.
It's so juicy. Do you want to talk
you.
about how we, no matter who we are, what are some of the things that you found are kind of everyone needs to do it to up level to be a more expanded multi-dimensional being?
or just to identify that within themselves.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know that.
so the thing is, in our spiritual world, there are people who are telling us like, okay, because of the solar flames, because of the Schumann resonance, we are prepared. Our bodies will be prepared to really start connect with higher dimensions and higher. But to be honest, if that would be the simple truth, why are we also sick?
Mm,
We
yes.
get sick because the Schumann resonance is creating so much fuss.
Okay.
Because our bodies are not able to match the frequency with that unbelievable high energy, what is coming to us.
Right.
So it is
Mm.
not that easy anymore. So the thing is, what I'm trying to tell to everybody, please, all of you, take care for your body first. If your cells, if your DNA is not carrying the same frequency as your soul is carrying, how can your soul ever match within your body? It's impossible. And even then to think, I told you, our body is our soul materialized.
Yes.
So if we are really creating this body with wrong foods, with
I knew you were going to say that.
industrial foods, with we
Yeah.
are putting
And-
gasoline in diesel cars or vice versa. This is what we do, and we are so not aware of it. I saw last time I saw a sort of video or something that somewhere they created biological eco strawberries, but then fully from nothing. from a sort of colored pulp or something
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
something. And I think, oh my Lord, but if we already are there, how can our DNA survive this? Because it
Mm.
can't. Then you just have to understand our DNA is listening to everything what we do, everything what we put in our body. Our DNA is listening to it. So the thing is that if we are bringing so many toxins, so many wrong foods, so many foods, what a high soul with a high sensitive body, because that is the thing. A high soul has a high sensitive body too. We
Mhm.
just can't deal with all those toxins anymore. We are so deeply sensitive. We have this ruptured microbiomal wall because we are on antibiotics and we are on birth control pills. We are taking whatever what is disrupturing our microbiomal wall. If we
Mm.
don't have this microbiomal wall, who can ever digest our foods? Nobody can at the end. And then we have this constant immunity, what needs to attack everything. Because, listen, we are all filled with
Oh,
low grade inflammation, with
sure.
all kinds of autoimmune diseases. If we would be this high soul with this matching wonderful body, why are we so sick? So the
Yes.
thing is, we
But
need to take
I'm gonna see if
first,
she can skin you.
yeah,
we're also taking in all the other noise in the world that's disruptive as far as
mm,
social media and the
of course,
news. And
of
we're
course,
just kind of, not,
yeah.
being source in those moments.
All the belief systems
Yes,
and every, you have all those currents, admiration, hope, guilt, punishment. I need to be punished. I was so wrong. I need to judge people because, oh my God. So
Mhm.
we need to stop doing this and we need to stop judging ourselves at first, because
Yes.
every stress we bring, every belief system, what is different, that when what we are as a soul is disrupting our DNA, we are creating so much cell stress into our cells that our genes start to express illness. It
Mhm.
starts to express trauma. It starts to express distortion. So the thing is that we need to really, really, really heal all of that before we can have this remembrance of who we really are.
sure.
Yeah.
And seriously, all of us, we are exactly from the same source. We are exact the same. So why can I do this and why can't you?
I
Yeah.
always say, I always come back to this. It's,
Yeah,
in the Bible, it says rejoice, which means we've been in joy before,
yeah,
or we know joy in the
yeah,
remembrance of me. And it's not necessarily just the remembrance of Jesus or God, but it's also us as source. It's the remembrance
of
of ourselves
selves.
as source. And
Yeah,
we came here to have these bodies for a very specific reason. Because if we were already, if we weren't meant to have this expression of ourselves, then we wouldn't be born in a body. We wouldn't have these like very,
yeah,
very dense or this experience, I feel like. And so us coming back into that coherence with not only our, like with source energy, but with our bodies too. I feel like that we're meant to really to structure with it. And I think a
exactly.
lot of times we start to leave our bodies. Maybe when you were talking
Yeah,
about going outside of ourselves,
And so,
and we
exactly.
forget to truly have the experience here. And what you're saying, I believe, is that it starts with that.
Elianka, you're completely right, because the thing is, our
I'm like,
body,
yay!
our body is the interface
Ah,
what creates the separation ID. And
uh-huh.
because we are then separated from source, we can start to experience for source.
yes.
Because source only wants us to experience
Yeah.
life for its purpose to create its more experienced wisdom. Because if you only have wisdom and you don't experience it, then you have just a half wisdom.
Right.
So Source says, listen, I just want our souls, our sparks, start to experience. So, and then we got into this body, what created the idea of separation, but we are never, never, never separated from Source. We still, in this earth, we still are absolutely a massive part of Source. We are
Yes.
not separate. It is just an idea what was created to make our systems experience love and hate, all the opposites, you know, because this is what we came to do. Why so many high souls of us? Because let's think about this, right? Because Earth is the only plane where you lose complete
Yes.
remembrance.
Yes, I was gonna say, and the reason why we have the amnesia. Because if we
And
already had the
why?
wisdom, we wouldn't truly have the experience. Like if we didn't have
Exactly.
the amnesia, we would have the wisdom, right? Like we would have like and so then you wouldn't need the experience because it would already be downloaded or whatnot, like, or it'd
Exactly.
already be with us. But to
Exactly.
truly experience it, we came with the amnesia and the free will.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
by the way, you can never override free will.
Right.
So this is something what, you know, in my practice is like a holy grail. You never override a free will of a person. Never. Because that is the most ultimate power of Source. It's free will. So the thing is, what I am trying to say is that um, there is an unbelievable plus point that us very high souls are coming here, often loading up unbelievable difficult lives because we need to experience a lot of difficulties and a lot of problems, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, because we need to teach people how to deal with it later. But why do we do it? Why? Why on earth are high souls like us are coming to this plane who is the most difficult without any remembrance, without so much things what is going on with us? And I will tell you, because when you are able to find your light and love and remembrance through so much trauma and veils and amnesia again, you are the master of emotions.
Mhm.
And that is the goal, what we all want to reach as a soul. And when we are master of emotions, we are completely coherent. And then at that point, we can decide to dissolve back into Source, even permanently. So that is the moment that we can decide, listen, we have done enough now. We experienced enough. We found ourselves, our love, our Source part back through all those difficulties, through all those pains. So that is why you as a soul really need never to bind yourself to trauma. You always have to see this. I came here to experience. I need to have a very difficult life, because if I am not living through the pain, how can I help people to do the same who are stuck in the 3D into that trauma base, pain and fear and, you know, everything what is there. So we are here with a lot of wonderful souls, and we have this spark inside of us. We want to help. Everybody wants to help people. And but then you go through hell back and forth. And the only thing how you can get through this completely undamaged is not to be that victim of that pain, but to
Mhm.
understand that you were choosing this in your contract to go through so that you can teach others.
Uh-huh.
So, and that is the most profound what I can tell everybody, because when you start to bind into your pain, you lose your coherence completely. And when you lose your coherence, you lose the connection with your soul
Wow.
completely. And when
So
you lose,
oftentimes when people start getting sick and maybe they could have healed, but they're already starting to disconnect with their soul if they've been diagnosed with cancer or ALS or one of those,
yes,
seeming to be terminal diseases, you could see how a soul would then, be like, we let this body die so that we can recommune in the land of oneness over the Rainbow Bridge. Uh, is that how you're seeing this? Like when we have pain and we maybe even have a diagnosis on top of the pain, which would create even more emotional pain, you could see how maybe that would become the end
uh,
of a human body.
yes. So the thing is that source can call us back, right?
Uh-huh.
Because if we are making from our higher soul, we have this high developed soul, we all have, but and we are making this a very 3D, fear-based, deeply conditioned and adapted person out of it.
Hmm. Yes.
Sometimes it can damage the spark of your own source so much
Wow.
that source says, listen, come home. The problem is that when you are not healing yourself within, you start to resonate with fields who has the same resonation. Uh,
Ah,
I, I am believing that I'm guilty, and I am believing
Hmm.
that I need to be punished because I was not good enough for source, so I did not bring all the experience, and so I need to overdo this life again and
Hmm.
again and again.
Wow.
So the
Because
thing
you're
is
making
that
yourself wrong is another
exactly,
component. And you're also making yourself wrong based on another energy that doesn't even belong to you. It's some
exactly.
part of the collective. Okay, got it. Wow.
Exactly. The thing is
Okay.
that we reincarnate through false overlays.
Yes.
And that reincarnation can be in a week, in a month, in even a day, that you suddenly are reincarnating into yourself again, but then just in a new jacket. When
Wow.
we are going back to source, when we are going back to our oversoul, we are completely absorbed as this trail of life. We
Mhm.
are absorbed into this complete field. When we are bind with our ego too much, when we are bound with old traumas too much, when we start to feel us as very important, our I is so important, we don't want to leave that I anymore.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
and then we start to resonate with fields who also has a very big identity. And so I work with people who have this superiority complex.
Hmm.
And why do they work with me? Because they know that they already are looping for lives and lives and
oh,
lives
wow.
back into their own system, and they really want to get rid of it. So,
Interesting.
and that is what I teach the persons. And how do I teach this? Is that they need to find their own truth frequency again. They need to start
Hmm.
to live transparent again. They need to start to go to the pain and start to recognition and acknowledge the pain, not
Hmm.
own it, but I have
Yes.
this, so how do I transform it? Not hide from it, not put it in a closet, not taking it away. No, just go to it, start working with it. Because if you don't do it, nobody does. And you
Hmm.
have to heal yourself. It is your responsibility. So you can't let anybody else do your healing. Also with love, I know so many people who have those voids in their heart, and they are just putting love there from others and do
Mm.
everything to get some love or some admiration or some guidance or whatever. No, nobody knows you the best. What kind of love you need. You only know how
Hmm.
exactly you need to be loved. So you start doing this by yourself, by just acknowledge, by seeing what you need, then acknowledge it, and then start to give it and then transform. And when you
Mhm.
clear your field out of being your truth frequency, you stop looping. Then you can be your coherent self. And then you can, at the end, just go back to source when you are actually not dying, but you are starting your new version of yourself. Because
Yeah, born again.
we
That's
are,
a reason there's a born again Christian.
Oh, interesting.
What
I
it,
want to give the audience a little bit,
so many
try to give a
questions,
little
so many
bit of
questions.
a little bit more example of your work. Would you be able to connect with like maybe Jennifer I?
sorry, what do I need to do? Janet, her eye?
Yeah.
I said, would you be able to connect with Jennifer me?
Oh, yeah,
Or
or you. Yeah, of course. So then I need both of your feet on the floor.
Okay.
Janet, I start with you, right? So let me focus a little second. So first of all, Janet, you are a 7AD soul.
Mm.
So by the way, both of you are planetary architects. Both of you.
Architects. That's funny.
Yeah.
When I read your book, I felt really drawn to that.
Yeah, you are both planetary architects and you found your mission already. You want to spread that that healing, that word, that knowledge, that is what you are really doing. What is really cool to sense within both of you is that both of your throat chakras are open.
Mm.
So, but then not really open to I sense and I communicate, but you are speaking your truth out.
Mm.
So you both went through situations that in the beginning it was a little bit scary to do all of this and to be on camera and tell people what to do. And oh my, who am I and why would I be able to do it? So this low self-esteem, what you both had, that is what is naturally giving us to as a female, right? And
Mm.
because we are so often as a female adapting to lower fields than what we are. And that
Interesting.
is what we really need to stop doing it because we are equal as souls with
Yeah.
everybody. And then when I sense you, Janet, um, your brain cells are overactive
Mm.
very much. So I sense this constant energy in your brains, like there is almost non-stop going on, whatever here. And you should really start to take some GABA because
Okay.
your glutamate level is way too high. So then, what can happen if you are not dealing with this, you can be overwhelmed suddenly,
Mm.
right? And then your filter in your frontal lobe is not really working on that moment. It's not like permanently not working, but you can feel that the glutamate is lowering that field inside of you. So GABA is leveling this back up. But also your third eye is wanting to be very active.
Mhm.
So, but I can see in your aura that it is pulsing all the time. It wants to come out, but it can't yet. Why
Mm.
can't it yet? Because you also have in your digestive system some problems.
Mm.
So the thing is that your plexus solaris, that is the one who manifests you. And that does it, but not completely, because you both have an unbelievable future ahead of you
Yeah.
in
Take that.
bringing the frequency to people.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you should. I know that you're really doing a good job because I was following this a bit on social media
Oh,
seriously.
you're gonna make me cry. Thank you.
While you're doing this so well, But I can tell you that if you would start to really be who you are,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can be so much better than anyone because
Okay.
because you are living it. You are
Mhm.
We just
Yes.
lived it yesterday.
Yeah, we
yeah,
are.
you are what you want to bring to people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then also with you, Janet, your hormones are a little bit
Yes.
like
Uh,
Yeah.
unbalanced. So
yeah.
there needs to be some work too. The thing is that what I would advise you, and by the way, all of you, is that you take an IgG food intolerance test.
Okay.
Mhm.
When you take a food intolerance test, you will start to see on what foods your immunity is reacting, because you also have a too high immune reaction in your
Mhm.
body. So you have, yeah, your, what I also can feel is that is also why your brain is so
You just said
haywired.
that.
I I
She
I
just said
I
that to me, that she thought that that was
I
what's
have
going
a
on.
gluten. I feel like I've got a gluten
Yes,
allergy
you
that's
have
quite severe.
exorphins. All the exorphins are doing this too with you.
Mhm.
So gluten and milk, definitely.
Mm.
But there are, I experience people who are coming with a test with me who are reacting on linseeds with 99 points, I mean, then you think I'm
Mhm.
doing really healthy stuff. Or
Yeah.
eggs, eggs.
Right.
I hardly see people who can digest eggs,
Yes.
and we all eat them every day. So
I
we
don't
really,
anymore.
yeah, we really need to know what we are reacting on, and then
Mhm.
your adrenaline system will start to calm down,
Mhm.
because sometimes your adrenaline is way too high. So, and then you keep on thinking, you keep on
Yeah.
do what you're doing,
Do.
but you believe that this is your motor,
Mm.
your thing. And yeah, of course,
I
I mean,
actually call it that.
She does call
My,
it
my
the thing. That's my
ambition, my
thing.
motivation, it's like that's my thing.
yeah, but
You have it innately.
your thing, your body needs to be super healthy
Yeah.
Mhm.
to really start to level up this work, so that you
She just
can,
said that.
yeah, and then your soul can enter, and then
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
can start to speak yourself these big truths out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ilyanka, you are such a beautiful soul. I mean,
Thank you.
you, by the way, too, Janet. I mean, I
Thank you.
really, I see this in both of you. But I thought
But you're
about,
especially beautiful.
You're so
Sorry,
no, no, no,
sometimes
it
the
is, no,
comedic
it,
thing
She
just
no, no,
comes
loves
no,
out.
me.
no, it's not, because remember, we are all the same, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. But the thing is that you you are a little bit closer to remembrance,
Mm.
because your body has less difficulties. So what you have is an MTHFR gene SNP on your liver.
Okay.
So that means that your methylation is not in order. So I feel your liver really struggling.
Wow.
So the thing is that when your methylation is not in order, whatever you put inside of your body, as vitamins, as minerals, as whatever, peptides, whatever I would subscribe to you, your body can't methylate it.
Okay.
So your DNA is completely depending on methylation. So the methylation makes the building blocks together and all the histones to create healthy expression of the methylation. And that methylation on your MTHFR gene is snipped. So
Okay.
you need to work on that. And when you do that, you will feel so much better
Mm.
completely.
Okay.
And then you will start to notice, like, okay, but I really don't feel this unhealthy. But then when you do
Mm.
this, then suddenly you are stepping into a newer version of yourself, where you can methylate, where you can give your body everything what you need. And then suddenly you start to feel, oh my goodness, but then I was this and that. And,
Yeah.
I see so many people who are coming to me and saying to me, like, okay, but a headache is, to have a headache is normal. No, it's not normal. When you are healthy, you don't have headaches. Seriously, you
Yeah.
don't. So when I had this accident and I lost completely my body, like in everything, I had a loop of 15 seconds, nothing more. I needed to think every morning around a half an hour to an hour, sometimes 1.5 hours, like, what is my name, you know? What on
Oh,
earth is my
wow.
name? I
Right.
had a complete empty brain, like seriously empty. When I wanted to tell my doctor something, I always had a guide with me because I could speak like 1.5 sentences and then I got completely red and I completely stuck and I couldn't say anything anymore.
Wow.
So I was ending up in a wheelchair for years. I was ending up bedbounded for years. I had until now 41 surgeries.
Oh my gosh.
And my true diagnosis came after 6 years. And that is when I was able to. It's really weird because my family was saying to me, Caroline, but you used to get all the information about everybody, and I really couldn't help myself. I didn't get any information anymore because what I was telling, my brain was too damaged, was too sick, was too, I have on three parts brain damage, and my pituitary gland is not working anymore. So, how could I ever translate something? And I couldn't. My body was deeply compromised. And because this pituitary gland was not functioning, I didn't get any hormones, like zero, for 6 years. So at the end, the human growth hormone is resetting and healing your cells during the night. That didn't happen for 6 years. So that is how I ended up bedbounded and in a wheelchair.
Yes, I gotcha.
So people said to me, why don't you? And then I thought, okay, I will give source three things. Like, because I thought, because everything on my body got pale, my hair fell out, my nipples were, sorry for the details, were
It's all
completely
good.
We're
pale.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I thought it must be hormones. So I said, hormones, accident, brain damage. And then after 6 years, they said, Google pituitary gland. And
Wow.
after it took 6 years to be able to download it. Pituitary gland accident. And then my caretakers, because I was full on care, 24 hours, they were Googling it and they will comment to, oh my God, Caroline, this is you. This is completely you. I gained 50, how do they say this in your terms? 110 pounds in 3 months after the accident. I was
Wow.
really, and so I was so not myself anymore. And when I knew that, then I got this diagnosis of pituitary gland, and then I got the diagnosis of complete brain damage and whatever. And then I got all the hormones and I got the human growth hormone. And then my remembrance came a little bit online about my epigenetic field, my
Mhm.
epigenetic knowledge. And then I started to work on myself again with peptides, with supplements, with diets. And then let me see, it took me 5 years to come back as this.
I mean, seeing you today, it's
You
hard
wouldn't
to even
know.
imagine that you were bedridden or in a wheelchair for that long.
And
It's
I'm 63.
you go,
You look
you look great.
fascinating. Yeah.
Oh, woo! Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but that is the thing.
Inspiring.
If you are really your true frequency,
Yes.
if you are really you, your cells are creating youth. They
Mhm.
don't create trauma, they
Yes.
create youth. Your DNA starts to recalibrate this way because this body had 42 surgeries, 42 narcoses, 40 whatever. I had 4 sepsises. I have had like 20, 30 Edison crises. These things are heavenly burdening on your body. So how can I be this vibrant? How can I be this healthy? Because I never have been binding myself to any of this.
Ah, what you
Nothing.
talked about at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
Exactly. It was my
Yes.
experience. I needed to go through
Mhm.
this. I never
Yes.
Yes.
felt a pity, one piece of pittiness for myself or sadness
Mhm.
for myself. I just
Wow.
knew I chose this, you know, so I
Yeah.
have to live through it. And also with my horrible childhood, I said always to everybody, I needed to just understand. I needed to understand that my father lost his soul and that he saw that I was connected with it. And he said,
Ah,
I need to kill the light in your eyes.
yeah.
Yes.
That is what he said to me always. And I just knew, listen, if you can kill the light in my eyes, I'm losing myself and everything what I am and have. And I refuse. So when he was beating me unconscious, what he did a lot, I never
Mhm.
cried. I refused. I just looked up into his eyes. I understood why he did it. And then I thought, just beat me up, you know, come,
Yeah.
I can handle it.
Mm.
And I never victimized myself. So I never adapted myself to the 3D reality. I never did. So if I can give a last advice to everybody, be your true frequency. Start to speak out who you really are. Stop adapting and stop lowering your fields as a female because we are absolutely equal to all of it. We are all the same spark of
Yes.
force, all of us. So,
Yes.
and then we are just this wonderful, wonderful energy who wants to be coherent and who wants to bring that mission to our world. And
Mhm.
that is who we are. We are the most helpful people, uh, souls, planetary architects, even. Who come to this world to recode the 3D reality into the 5D. And that is our mission. So
Mhm.
just, but then we need to have this truth and transparency back,
Yes.
not the bending to the identity. And then we
Yeah.
get coherent and then we are connecting to source and then we stop looping into false incarnations.
Mhm.
And,
Wow. Fascinating.
and that's
Well, I
then,
know some people have asked on the chat about the multidimensional scan. Where can they
yes,
get it? And is there an
yes.
offer? And
Yes,
you
there is
did
an
give us a
offer.
generous offer.
Yeah,
Uh,
there is an offer. Normally, because a multidimensional scan is not only the hour that I'm sitting with you guys, right?
mhm.
Because everybody gets a personalized, scientifically, a completely search-based protocol where you can really find your complete health back. So, and that
Wow.
takes me 4 to 7 hours to make it. So
Mhm.
for a whole package, normally I'm asking 555 euros. Now I am giving this as a hot hustle with how do you say caps? Ding,
All
the
caps,
big,
all caps. I put
all
it in
caps,
the
all
chat, you
caps.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it will cost, with full protocol, 350
Thank you. Thank
euros.
Amazing,
you.
So
amazing,
if you
amazing.
just mail us or just book it on our website, dimensionalclarity.com, and then I'm here and I make this protocol for you, and then I will read your whole system because I just did it partially here because I'm very much trained not to see and not to know anything about a person. So when I don't see a person, I can go real deep, so much deeper than I could do it with you
Mhm.
guys today.
Yes.
And
Wow, it's
especially
incredible.
that I don't want to have any knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you get your complete protocol to find your absolute health back, and that we can start to recalibrate your DNA through this protocol. But I also need to do it energetically. So
Mhm.
there are some sessions where I create coherence and where I create in one session the DNA recalibration
Wow.
energetically.
Mhm.
But that is when your body starts to have this protocol, and then I just do it.
Yeah.
And we also work with the inner children and all traumas and soul traumas. And
Oh, I love
I
it,
do
love
the
it.
whole
So it's
package,
like, yeah,
multi-dimensional.
yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
yeah. Go
So
through,
I think I'm taking the time from others,
not
guys.
yet, not yet. You're not.
No, we're
No?
not
I,
yet. Yeah.
but I wanted to remind you guys that we also have the book on the site, and you can find all of this at houthustle.com/live. Houthustle.com/live. Her package is in the chat here on Zoom if you want to go over and check it out and grab it now.
And for those
I'm
listening
probably
on
gonna do
audio,
it.
right, you can get the
Yeah.
coupon code. It's How Hustle, just all in caps.
Caps.
Yeah.
And we'll link it to anywhere that has words, but you can also find it on the dashboard at howhustle.com/live.
Mhm.
Any parting words for us today? Thank you for your time. Oh
Yeah, my gosh,
amazing.
it's amazing.
That was
Wow.
amazing. I can't
Well,
wait to talk to you again if you'll have us again.
oh, of
But
course,
yeah,
because listen, I really got you girls, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
you
you.
no, seriously, you should go up and up and up, really.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
We plan
That's
to. It's a
Yeah,
part of what our higher self has
prepare
told
that
us and
vessel
vision.
for complete embodiment, seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
you will start to remember so much more of your
Awesome.
extreme talents. And keep
Thank
that
you.
truth frequency out, because that is amazing what you do. And
Oh, wow.
and every little piece of maybe doubt, if you are deserving to do this, you are deserving to do this.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
put it aside and be yourself. Step into your power, all of you, please,
Mm,
and just be who you really are.
yeah.
And remember, that is it.
Wow. What an honor and joy to have you, Carolyn. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you for having me. Seriously, thank you all for listening to me. And I really hope that this was something what you really needed.
Yes.
And so, thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
She's so awesome. Guys, stick around. We have other guests coming up. It's going to be at the 15 after the hour. So if you
7
need to grab a,
minutes.
yes, so 7 minutes. If you need to grab a glass of water or just stand up, stretch, because we've got a great show for you for the rest of the day. Don't go anywhere. We've got Miriam Katz coming up next. She's a shamanic healer, and she's going to talk to us about how working with the elements can really bring you more joy and love in your life. So just stick around.
Yeah. I do want to let you know that, this book basically is a transmission and pretty much told me what page to open it to. But the whole book is full of all that a lot of deliciousness in it. So, it's quite the book. So if you need a book that you just want to open up and need some inspiration, this might be the one for you. It's linked on the main site, and you can grab it there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's a moment that comes in our lives where you got to go, holy shit, this is guided. And hearing her say again to Leonka about, we've heard multiple times, Leonka, use your voice, use your voice. Leonka, liver,
Yep.
right? And to have more than one healer say that, I mean, it's like, how much do we have to get hit over the head until we make some changes here? A lot of you know that earlier this year I did this massive detox that one of our speakers has talked about on the show, Quentin Green, and he really changed who I am and how I even consume food. And I know that it's way beyond food here for all of us, but I just sometimes you just need that extra reminder that we're being guided in each moment, and maybe the choice that we don't want to change is the choice that we need to change. So I just that's what was inspired to come out of my mouth right now was we're going to have a fantastic day. Miriam Cates is up next. I've had some personal sessions with her, life-changing sessions. where she's done some somatic work and gone into my body, and we've asked some questions and pulled out some cool things. And then after that, we're talking with Karen Tobiasen, who it's just a hoot, but she also, always tells it straight to us. She's had multiple NDEs, and she really does know how to live as a multi-dimensional being. I mean, this is, if I mean, yes, do I want the big business? Yes, but do I want to live in the way that I sense is coming to me so badly? I mean, I want that more than anything, that congruent coherence of what I sense, in glimpses of little meditations and glimpses of breath work and glimpses of some of these practices. And I feel like that's what's going to become available through this show, not just for me, but all of you too.
Yes.
So I hope you are getting excited about this.
Yeah.
And I want to remind you to be a part of it even more. Join us on the community. We have that link right under the main video at houthustle.com/live. Please join us in the community. Share some of the whispers you got from that amazing call. What you're really walking away with. Those are your whispers.
Yeah.
You don't need a feed to respond to. Just drop them in there for now. It's a brand new community. There's not a ton of us over there yet, and you can there
It's on its own private app. So
Yes.
it's all created on School. You can find the
SKOO.
SKOOL. You can find that on houthustle.com/live. It's in a button that says join the community, join community. And you just click it, it launches the application. So you got to download that, but it's its own private app.
It's on a web. You don't have to.
Oh, you don't even have to download it. That's right. You can do it on the web, on the desktop. But basically, it'll bring you to our, ask you, do you want to join How Hustle community? And you can say yes. And then you can load your different whispers in there. We're running a contest. We're also running a contest for those who interact with us on our Instagram page and on our YouTube channel. Instagram, you can get there at How Hustle Live, and YouTube, just search How Hustle.
Mhm.
And you can also join us live and put a comment there if you're joining us on Zoom as well.
Mhm.
It really just helps us to continue to get this workout, to share the community. It's always going to be a free resource for you.
Mhm.
We do a live talk show every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So you can join us there too. We've got other really we have a new season lined up for you with really amazing speakers like we just met with today. So it's a lot of fun, but we really want to make sure that you are getting that extra interaction. And the reason why we did this on a different app is so that we didn't have to be on all of the socials, maybe with some more of our more intimate stuff. So you are the ones
Yeah.
that, we're calling whispers, they equal clues. So you're the ones that really help us do that mapping, right? Like, what did you hear from one speaker that could be a correlation with another speaker? I know that, my liver, and I keep hearing that. I hear you, universe, and using my voice more. That definitely is a whisper that I will be using personally. But what are those other ones that maybe might be standing out to you? Or what are you seeing in the world as your own specific signs? So we want to hear about those cool things too, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
a dragon in the sky, did you see extra rainbows? Did you see cardinals the day that you watched Disclosure Day? All of those fun
Yeah, the
things.
little things.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to say, look at your pennies, nickels, and dimes because they add up to dollars.
That's true.
I feel like that's true about the whispers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a little cardinal getting your attention.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Right. And
And
your
then
whole
it
family.
and then it leads to these big ass dreams that you create.
Yes.
Yeah. So to follow the energy. And
All right. We're at the
goodness.
top of
I'm not
15
sure Miriam joined us yet, though. So hold on just a second. I let a few people in here. Miriam, if you're on the line, will you unmute and say hello? I don't see her on the line. Let me see if I can rally our troops behind the scenes. Oh, that didn't even go. None of these went.
See if I see anything from Miriam. Hang on, everybody. This is why we tape live, so we can have
So we can
dynamic conversations. But again, it's like you are my live studio or our live studio. So see if she's got any. Do you have her on
nope, I don't.
text?
Mm-mm. It doesn't seem like my text messages are going through. Oh, there she is. Perfect. All right. We will pull her up.
Start a new recording.
Yes, and we'll do that too.
Sweet dress.
Hi, Miriam. Wow, you look gorgeous
I know.
today.
Oh, look at that necklace.
Hi. Great to see you both. I love your dresses.
Thank
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
This is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Miriam Katz, and we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about because she can absolutely talk about shamanism. She can talk about it
And
in
she's changed
every
your
single
life.
way.
Yeah.
And she's changed my life. And, I feel like a lot of things bounce off of that session, that first session
Yeah.
that we had where, I was like saying things. I was like, even listen recording. I was like, this is confidential, right? Because I was saying things that clearly are no longer me. It's interesting going back to the session because I still have awareness through it. But at this time, I'm kind of like, wow, that took 6 months and I'm done. I'm really done with the trauma and the drama that I was dealing with, some of the control around, and especially money and control in that one particular. And I'm so grateful. I love the way that you go about your work too. In the last call we had with you, we started with a little transmission, and you talked to us a little bit about what the maracas do to our system, by stirring up the energy. I would kind of like to start there again and just follow the energy of the whispers of what comes through from the chat and really bring in the community to answer some of the questions, to ask some of the questions. They could answer them too, probably. There's
Did you want to start with the transmission first, or did you want to talk a little bit about just real briefly
like who
for
you
those
are,
right,
and
real
what you do.
real briefly, let us know a little bit about you, what you do, and how you got to here.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on today. I work as a shamanic healer, and what shamanism is earth-based mysticism. So it's the understanding that there's consciousness in all life forms, in the earth itself, in plants, rocks, trees, animals, and in our bodies, in our organs, in our systems. And when we move into conscious relationship with these energies, we can start to bring them back into balance and ourselves back into balance with them. And one of the pieces of shamanism that is consistent across cultures, one of the many pieces, is working in trance states or altered states. So I often have people ask me, "Oh, you're a shaman. Do you do ayahuasca? Do you hold ceremonies, plant medicine, things like that?" And there are those who do. I'm also a mom, and I also work and live in the United States, and so I am very cautious to not do anything that would compromise my capacity to continue taking care of my kids.
Right,
And,
right.
yeah, being free in this world. So,
But you don't
that
have to do those things in order to
No.
practice. And I think that's a misconception.
Yeah.
absolutely. So, trance states are available to us all at all times. And one of the easiest substance-free ways to access a state of trance is to use constant drumming, percussion, or rattling. And I used to, for all my sessions, I would have, so I have a collection of drums back here, and would drum, and I would notice I would have two arms that were sore at the end of my sessions. And so I've learned that if I use a rattle, I just am using one. And so there's less upkeep in terms of managing my own muscles and fatigue afterwards. So I use a rattle. It's also much more nimble, and then I have my other hand to do other things. So when we start this transmission, when we start this invocation, we'll be using the rattle to start to shift our brain waves, our brain frequencies. So we are, when we hear this, and maybe how's the sound if I start?
Perfect.
Good.
Sounds good.
So as I'm talking, as I'm initiating this, this consistent beat, what is happening is our brains are starting to entrain to that rhythm, just the same way that when we're in the womb, we entrain to our mother's heartbeat. We can entrain to our own heartbeats. And so we start to move out of that conscious, logical, let's see, it's left brain. The logical brain is the left brain, and we start to move into that creative right brain space, which opens our capacity to move into the imaginal realm. And this is the space from which the shamanic journey happens. And I think of it as moving to the deepest layers of reality where the source code is. So if we were a computer programmer, we would be going into this space and starting to make tweaks and to shift the nature of reality. So let's take a few breaths through our heart center in the center of the chest and start to tune into your own heart center, imagining it as a big ball. And starting to notice how much room there is for that ball to expand. So if it were a beach ball, how full of breath would it be? If it were in the space, the energetic space of your chest, might there be anything standing in the way of the full expansion of that beach ball? And we have agency here. We have the ability to move things that are in the way. And so if there is anything standing in the way of that fullness of that heart ball, you can invite it to shift to the side. You can imagine maybe there's a waiting room that you can put that object or person or energy into to create a little more space. And then as we feel our heart space bigger, we feel that there's more room for our heart to come on board, we're going to invite in even more of our soul energy. And we invite that in by opening a secret door towards the back of the heart center. So whatever it looks like or whatever it feels like for you, just imagine there's a door there. You're going to open that door and invite your soul energy to come on board, even more than it is in this moment. And that soul energy, another way of saying that, is our own divine self, our own inner God or goddess. Each of us is a spark of the divine. And so as you invite that soul essence forward, more of your power is here, more of your presence and awareness is here, and more of you is available to communicate from the deepest levels. And so in doing this, we are shifting our awareness from our brain, our minds, our thinking, to our hearts, our conscious awareness, our feeling, and our soul presence. So I want to welcome with reverence every soul that has stepped forward into this sacred space here today, and inviting that whatever comes through today come from the deepest level of soul, that it meet the needs, the deepest needs of those who have showed up live and on the replay, and that it helps to uplift us all in all of creation. And as you open your eyes and come back into the room, know that you're doing it from a place of soul consciousness. And see what that might be like for you.
I don't have words.
It's well, what comes up is true coherence. Yeah, and I will have glimpses of this, but I find that, after you take us through and activate these energies, it seems like it's even more alive. And yet I could still retrieve something that I would have grief over, or, get twisted around. And I'm curious today if maybe we go through some of the ways that people can get unhooked from some of these collective ideas and ideals that a lot of us seems to still have around self-esteem or worth, or, relationship or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect way into that, because when we invite our soul essence on board, the leadership shifts to an inner space.
Yes.
It shifts to the deepest space, the most profound space, and the one that tracks back to our source, which is each of us is a part of the creator, and each of us is creating this reality. So when we're orienting ourselves to our soul, then it becomes less a matter of these collective memes or miasms, like
Yeah.
these ideas about who we are, our smallness, our lack of power, and it moves more into this truth space that is way more profound and connected than any ideas that we've been fed.
Yeah. One of the things you said in my session when I was going through something and I was like, it feels like, I would make noises and things like that. And then it came up like unworthiness. And I was like, dude, I thought I cleared all that. And, and you said, well, it is there inside of you for now, or something to those words, like, well, it's still there for now. And you said it in just such a light way. Do you see it sort of as this distortion of the 3D, when it's not true soul source?
What I see is that we tend to attach ourselves to those things that feel off, and we get into
Yes.
story about them, and we've been trained
Uh-huh.
that way.
Wow, how
It's
well
like,
said.
yeah, when the report cards come out, the parents or teachers are looking at the lowest grade. They're spending less time at the highest grade. And so when we notice what we perceive of as flaws in ourselves, and we start to dig into what's causing that, where's it coming from? I thought I worked on that. The story itself can get really sticky. And so we don't want to override it. We don't want to pretend like it's not there. I spent years with like affirmations and, oh, I'm going to think positive, but ignoring what was actually in my field, which is like, these distortions are true for us until they're not. And so we want to acknowledge them. We want to give them a greeting and a welcome, and like, yeah, this is here and this is my truth for now, but it's not my truth forever. And so even coming out of the sessions, if we always have a debrief, I always debrief with people at the end of the sessions. And oftentimes I will find that people will still talk about the story of what was just shifted as if it's still there.
That's what I call going shopping for it again.
Yeah, go shopping for it. Yeah.
Or what Spirit called, right?
Yeah, so I invite them to suspend the idea that it's still there, to just imagine that there may be a new world that they have just shifted into, where the presence of that pattern is going to release more and more.
Technically, it does, right? Technically, we can shift into a world because we shift timeline, right? Like everything exists simultaneously, and there is a world where it doesn't exist. Like there is a space where it doesn't exist. And until we go and look for those, the spirit showed it to me as, we go like we clear all this stuff and then we go shopping back for it because we feel
Like it's us.
yeah, well, might feel different, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't know myself yet because you're in a different space. And so we go and try to put back what we think is familiar, right?
Yeah.
About our identity.
I would like
Yes.
to take this conversation deeper because, we're just talking about one individual here, but let's add another person to the dynamic. And that person has an old persona of you too.
Oh,
Right?
interesting. I gotcha.
So then not only have you cleared it, but then here trots along this other person.
So let's say a spouse is operating as the way they used to know you, right?
Or a son or daughter, whoever, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I've changed.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've changed. But then as soon as they bring back that reference point, then suddenly you're like, well, maybe I am it again. And you just readopt it. Do you see that often? I mean, how
Or it
that-
could send you
right?
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a testing ground when these types of challenges of the old way of being come back to us. And it's an
Yeah.
opportunity to say, am I going to tread that familiar path, or
Yeah.
am I going to rise to the occasion and say, I see what you're doing? And that's I'm going to make the conscious choice to continue on this new path where I have shifted this pattern. We're creator beings. We can choose either. We can jump timelines. So
Mhm.
the old timeline is comfortable, it's familiar, and it's known by other people. And unless it's a
Wow.
really dramatic shift where like your energy shifts so fully that that timeline is not remembered to the people around you, you still have these choice points of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where am I going to walk?
Right.
It's challenging.
Wow.
So the bigger thing here would be to realize, to have the awareness that that's a test, and which way am I going to tread, right? When you said, when you have this choice point, it's like, do I even like, will my old self emerge, right? Like, will I allow that to bring me back or suck me back into that old, or will I just like, okay, fine, I get that you're having that reaction to the way that you remembered me, but I choose a different way. And maybe you can choose how you're going to be in that situation too, and just feel it. I choose to try to be like, fill that space with a lot of love if I can remember, and if I'm not that triggered. I mean,
Right.
I get it. We're humans, right? So I'm just gonna give some grace to people who be like, somebody says something to me, they're pressing my buttons, and immediately you get swept right back in. But I do try to just really bring in a lot of love. And some people say kill them with kindness, but you don't even have to do that. You can just be your new person, your new.
Yes, and to know that we've spent our lives in certain patterns. So like we've walked
Yeah.
that neural pathway is
Yeah.
really, it's deep, it's embedded, and we can clear it in a session and come on board and feel different, but like those around us may encourage us to walk that path again. And if we do that again, we can also use those words of for now. Okay, for now, I walked that familiar path. And now I see that there's another path. So I'm going to start to build in support for myself. I'm going to acknowledge that tendency. I'm going to acknowledge the reactions of other people around me. And I'm going to imagine, what if I were there again? What different choices might I make? Or I'm going to meditate and I'm going to dream myself taking that other path that I didn't take in material reality, but I can imagine and create it in my body. I actually had this experience, not that I had shifted and did something old, but I lived a reality that I regretted. And so I went back. This was a couple weeks ago. I had a major family event, and
Family, you're here.
We heard it.
Yeah.
We heard
You
it
heard
there.
Listen up. Go ahead.
So it was on some levels and like a 5D love fest. It felt like friends and family were here and we were able to connect from the heart, and it was so beautiful. And then there was this little thing that I did where I had to make space, or I chose to make space at a table, and I moved a couple of my friends out of that table to make space for my family who had special meals that they needed to have. And I thought I needed all the chairs. Turns out there were a couple that were free that my friends could have sat at.
Oh,
And my friends ended up standing at like a stack of chairs and eating their food off of it. And I felt so bad that I had moved these dear friends to a place where they were not sitting. And I kept revisiting that pain, that regret of why did I do it this way? And I realized that wasn't serving me, that pattern, that pathway. So what I did instead was I imagined that I hadn't made that choice. I imagined that I had introduced my friends to my family, made those connections, sat there with them, and enjoyed watching these two different parts of my life connect to each other who I value so much, and feeling the elation and the love grow between them. And that is the reality that I choose to remember and to feel. And I know that by feeling that, I'm sending it into those friends, into those families,
Wow.
and into that event and shifting things on an energetic level.
yes,
Wow.
yes. I realized in another series that we did earlier last year that we really can go in. When you reimagine, we are actually visiting that timeline and we are shifting things, because then when you do that, when you have that, like for me, I went and I revisited with my younger self, and I didn't realize that when people say that, I thought, oh, it's just like, oh, I kind of imagined. No, like literally, there's science is showing us that like I can actually sit with my younger self and love my younger self and be with my younger self, which then in turn shifts the reality that I'm in living today. So what you did is a very pragmatic and real thing. It's like I mean, it does shift things, and it does because we are all simultaneously living and experiencing all different
Yeah.
timelines at the same. Isn't that amazing, y'all? I just wanted people to get that difference there.
Now, when you see them next, do you think that there's going to be any weirdness, or do you think that that timeline has changed in their minds and their worlds and their whole energetic system too?
Well, the funny thing is, like, my friends didn't feel any malice,
Uh-huh.
anything. They were like, "This is not a big deal," and I was like, "No, I
Yeah.
feel terrible." They're like, "This
Oh,
is fine. Like, we are fine.
Yeah.
We're here to
yeah.
see each other and you, and we're good." And then we
Mhm.
all danced the night away, so it was fine. But for me, it was my own regret and my own
Yeah.
inner perfectionist who was like, "Well, why didn't I do it that way?" And
Yeah.
so then I was like, "Well, why don't I?"
I
Yeah.
love that you gave us such a real
Real
world
world example.
Yes, I really do. Because those are the little things that kind of eat at us, right? They change the way that we operate. And like if you felt that way about something, then you might be like overwork about another thing, right? Like it just permeates and it stays. Those little bitty things kind of add up. And then if you can go and revisit that and make the energy for yourself also feel more at ease with everything, then if that is in which way you would change your life, you would heal. I think that's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know it's pretty vulnerable.
Well, can we, is it okay if we take some callers and go through some mini little
Questions? Yeah.
questions, flips, or whatever?
We've got a
Okay.
couple hands raised. Go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to ask Miriam a question.
I have one other question. I think it's an easy one to solve. Um, yeah, I have, we went on a trip with my son and we've had this kind of like just weirdness with him since. It's almost like he hasn't been the same after. He hasn't like reached out or, really met. And I sense weirdness, but it's just weirdness. Where do you go with something like that? Because I've been like, what would Miriam do? And I will book a session if necessary. But it's just kind of like I just sense like there's something going on in his body, and he made a conclusion and a story about something. I have some ideas of what it could be, but I'm not certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The place that I like to address these kinds of challenges is on the energetic level.
Mhm.
Because when we start attaching or when we start moving into story, we could create a whole new one,
Yeah.
right? Like, and then we're creating another problem that's kind of coexisting with whatever he's got. So I try to move out of there. And what I try to do, and I'm sensing the weirdness as you're talking about it, is to just make space for it in my body. And
Mhm.
as a mother, there's a really powerful potential here where it's like if you think about what the earth does for us from a composting perspective, right? It's like we make waste, we don't need it. She can use it and create something that is beautiful. It's feeding new life, right? And so she's taking our discarded whatever and metabolizing it, turning it into something what I call pure potential. So as a mother, I like to take that example of Mother Earth, right? And to notice where in my body I feel the weirdness, for example, right? And then just hold my conscious awareness on it and just make space for it. So we're
Mhm.
not judging it as bad or something that needs to be eliminated, but we become like that hot earth that starts metabolizing the compost by radically accepting it. And that radical acceptance starts to shift it inside of us because the weirdness you experienced is living inside of you. And thus it's like your landscape to tend and to transform. And so by
Right.
sitting there, keeping your attention on it until it turns into something else, but with radical acceptance, that is going to shift it. And then
Yeah.
you may find that there is a clearer space to engage if he's wanting that, or maybe it's just gone. Like
Wow.
kids don't always want to talk, as you know, right?
Yeah.
Like kids
Right.
don't always want to talk things through. Sometimes they just want to like move on. And for me,
Yeah.
there's weirdness in me in that relationship. I tend to it
Yeah.
in my own body.
Okay. That's yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
If your hand is raised, go ahead and put on your camera and we'll start taking some of you guys. We got Zoom user, and you can say your name, but Zoom user, you're up.
Hello, my name's Marianne.
Hi,
Hey,
Marianne.
Marianne.
Hi. Um, my question has to do with, I think, worthiness. Um, I'm a shamanic healer as well, and have been for a long time. And I feel not valued, or I'm not valuing it enough myself. Um, a lot of people are, what's the word, not acknowledging it. Like I go to sweats with this man, and he says there's no such thing as a shamanic healer. The only healer I know is Leonard Crodog, and I've seen him do a lot of miraculous things. And you're not a healer.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody I respect a lot, and it's hurtful.
Yeah. When people outside of ourselves, first of all, thank you for your vulnerability and for sharing what you're going through. And I can feel it as you're talking about it. I feel the heaviness and the weight of it. And what I want to speak into this is that when people show us a mirror of something that feels difficult, that feels challenging, that doesn't feel right inside of ourselves, it is pointing our attention to something that is unresolved inside of ourselves. And so, what I would do if I were noticing that is I would go and I would sit with that unworthiness what you might find is there is a part of you that's feeling unseen, unacknowledged, unloved. And that part of you needs your attention more than it needs affirmation from anyone else in the world. Because you can get all the accolades, you can be awarded the top shaman in the world. And if that part has not been seen by you, it will not feel any different. And so that's the inner work that I would be focusing on.
Well, one time I was doing a journey, and it was pretty amazing journey where I was burning through a lot of the sadness and um, I got to a peaceful place where I could see a dragon, I could see a phoenix, I could see the white buffalo calf woman. And I know I can get to these amazing places and help people from that place and have a lot of allies to help me with that. And I think that what you said about seeing the unseen part, not unacknowledged and unloved, I can see her.
Great. So you have all of these allies, you have the resource of shamanic journeying. You have a robust toolkit that can be used, worked with in order to give this part of you the love that they need. And so, I would be making use of these amazing dragons and allies and whoever feels right, and going in and just going in with tenderness, compassion. Like, you can have all of the power in the world, but the power of the heart, the curiosity, the compassion that you bring to yourself is going to be the game changer. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your work.
Okay, Tracy, you're up. Actually, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can see your lips moving and saying, "Can you hear me?" But I didn't hear anything.
All right. Well,
We're gonna take the next
we'll
one.
take the next one. Tracy,
then-
we will come back if you can figure it out.
Deborah, you go ahead and unmute.
Hi, Marian.
Hey, Deborah.
Nice to see you again. I am wondering if you can help me with a problem of just being stuck. I want in my creativity. I have a problem letting go. I'm trying to get through decluttering. So I say, oh, I can't do any painting or can't do any art and creative because I have to do that first. I'm so stuck on both those things. I realize there's a inner child probably safety issue that's going on there, but I love your wisdom and your shamanic ways, and I'd love to hear something from you. Thank you.
Thank you. What I would notice is, like, any rules that you may have created for yourself around creativity. How helpful are they? How true are they? So the rule of, I need to declutter before I start this. Sometimes these can be ways that we keep ourselves out of our passions. And passions like art, like creating, these fuel us. These, when we're doing them from a place of really wanting to, of really loving it, that can give you the energy that you might need for a decluttering project or something like that. So I would be questioning, how helpful is this rule? How might it be standing in my way? And then the other piece that I would share here, this is a piece that led me through my massive event planning thing, and I am not an event planner. This is not my forte, And for me, it helped it create this 5D kind of energy of love, of magic, which was if there was a task in front of me, actually, I would have like 10 tasks in front of me at any given point. If it felt like work, I would choose not to do it. And that felt highly risky, right, with this event coming up. And so I would kind of scan what I had in front of me. And if it felt easeful, if it felt exciting or joyous, I would do it. And so I started thinking of it as, is this molasses, which is sticky and like, no, or is it like jelly of like smooth and sweet? And so I would go for the jelly and I would do it. And it came together. It didn't come together in a highly controlled manner. Like the chairs were 20 minutes late, like all these things were happening, but like I just had the trust and the faith and the ease that I had built as a pattern that made things feel easeful. So it's just a little tidbit.
And it probably allowed you to enjoy the whole process when it arrived way more, right?
Yeah, and the planning of it, right? Because I wasn't torturing myself to be like, I really don't want to do this, but I have to, so I will. I didn't do that. I'd say, what does my soul want, right? What is my heart excited about? Even if it's, whatever, even if it's not something my mind would be excited about or I would choose for work, that's what I would do next.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for your
Much love
question.
to you. Yeah.
You too, Deborah.
Yeah, that means that it would.
come from true choice, your soul's choice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tracy, did you figure things out there?
I think so. Can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I did it. Two things I had to ask, and the first thing is, this is so funny. Apparently, I have a thing with art. So when I saw you at first, I saw the three pictures there, and then once I opened the heart chakra or the heart door, I noticed the red one behind you. That was just like exploding. So I don't know if like I didn't see it because I wasn't ready, but that's just like a weird side note. My biggest issue is struggling between, like you said, you can go back and rewrite your history or whatever. And I've been disabled for 25 years and have struggled with that. I've been bedbound and everything. I feel like I'm at a space now where I'm okay with that. However, in doing like the mind work and all that, finding that balance of like, I can't ignore my body. I can't ignore the pain, and that's always going to be there. But how do I go back all the way to rewrite this? Or how do I integrate the body and the mind together?
That is a beautiful question, and it's a deep question. It's you're really taking us into the crux of it, because some things can be rewritten, right? And some things are a soul commitment. They're a status quo that is living with us, right? And so, the magical thinker in me wants to say like, yes, we can go back and like redo the entire script and change everything. And I think on some plane that is available. Some plane. I'm not there yet, I'll be honest. What I would probably be focusing on is the thing that is emotionally the most painful for me in living with, or for you, right? If I were you, in living with this. And then going back to the seed, I used to work with timelines as if they were, and I still do when this comes up, but it's like if you were to imagine a string with knots on it, right? And maybe where that emotional pain came from, right? Or maybe it's physical that you used to work on, or maybe you don't. If you don't, you just intend to go back on that timeline to wherever it started. If you do, you take yourself to that moment, and then you start to notice, what could I shift? What's one thing I could shift here that would shift the whole feeling of the situation? And when you do that, then you can imagine, what if that feeling that I've now shifted it into were to infuse the entire timeline, all the way down
Wow.
until the present moment and bring that through, like taking a brush to, the beginning of a thread and then just brush stroking it all the way through, infusing it with a new color.
Okay. That's really helpful because I think a lot of it stems from just guilt. Like, I was a nurse. How did I let myself get sick? Like, that is like my
Oh.
number one thing. And it's like, I know I didn't, but that always, I should have known better. So that's what I hang up on. But now I know, like, this is the journey that I picked because I've made it this far. It's been 25 years and I'm ready to come out and help other people. But there's still that thought in the back of your head, like, that I need to go back and like figure out where that came from. That's
Yes.
very helpful.
Yes. And guilt,
Yeah. Guilt is brutal.
it's brutal. Absolutely. So changing that one thing can shift your entire experience and
Okay.
relationship with this. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. That was
You're
helpful.
welcome.
And Tracy, we heard you yesterday, and it seems like you've got some good stuff brewing, and that you are ready to get back out there. So we're super excited. One of my friends was listening in, and she was like, "Yeah, I remember the lady. She had the beautiful pink hair, and she's ready to get out in the world." And I found that so inspiring. And I thought, oh, it's really it is your time. Yeah.
It is terrifying though too because I'm making
Oh,
myself
stop.
vulnerable to the stuff that is really has hurt me in the past or has held me back.
You
So
got
that's
this.
just it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, guys. This is awesome.
Yay. Okay.
All right. So Svanya.
Svetlana, am I right?
That's it.
Svetlana.
I mess it
Yeah,
up every
hi.
time.
Hi.
I'm
Hi,
so
good to
happy
see
to be
you.
here, and
It's good to see you again.
yeah,
Yeah.
you too. And I'm so grateful that I got this opportunity to ask my question. I would like to ask a couple of weeks ago, it was lots of stress, and I even got influence, and then I feel something wrong. So it's usually when I close eyes, so I see colors, and after this now it feels that I have do you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
I feel it's dark on my heart, so it's I'm so grateful that after Dr. T session, it was a bit cleansing on my heart, and it began again better. But can you please check, Miriam, scan my heart chakra and tell please how I can again back to my original I can find a word, but it feels not so good when it's I try to meditate, and it was especially 1 week ago before a session with Dr. T, it was dark in my heart, so I came in meditation in heart, and I didn't see anything. And I lost this opportunity to see colors when I close eyes, and what I can do that.
So if let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly, Svetlana. So you were experiencing, you just disappeared for me. Is she still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a Zoom, okay, found you.
Yeah.
So you were experiencing a heaviness on your heart, a darkness, and then you had a session and you felt better.
Yeah,
And then
but before I could travel through my heart and to other dimensions, and it was not 100% bright, but it was I saw energetic field, light body, and a couple of weeks ago it's like totally was closed, and it began like dark, totally dark, and I don't know why it's happened, and now it's a bit better, but it's not 100% as it was before.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. So what I'm perceiving as I'm tuning into your heart center is emotion that is pumping its way up from the sacral or womb chakra. So it looks like, I don't know what there are pumps that kind of look like hearts, right? That you kind of squeeze and then air goes up through this tube. It's almost like there's something that's kind of triggering or activating this emotion going up into the heart space. And it's something that's wanting to be confronted. And when I say the word confronted, I mean met, acknowledged, kind of released. It's I tend to think of this kind of energy as the dark goddess, right? It's like shadow work. Like we want to be light and free and empowered and all these things, but we all have things in our past, in our psyches that are heavy. We have emotions that we haven't processed, parts of us that haven't been met. And oftentimes we will get dragged down into the layer of the dark goddess or into the underworld to deal with this kind of stuff. But in your case, it's really interesting because it looks like it's actually just being pumped up into your heart, like into your day world to
Can it
deal
be
with.
because, sorry that I'm interrupting you, that 1 week ago I got one session. It was about open way to multidimensionality, and they opened sacral chakra. Before it was, I felt that it was blocked, and they opened the sacral, and can it be because of that it started?
Yes.
What I should to do now, because I'm not myself, I feel not so well, and it's feels like heaviness and dark eyes. So it's I feel like I'm dirty. I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you brought a reality into your, a multidimensionality is great, right? But there are dimensions that hold pain. You brought a painful reality or opened up to a painful reality that now moved into your living awareness. So that needs to be cleared out and released. You may want to assess, like, are there doors that you're actually wanting to close, or do you want to just clear it out and let it go? We could do that in a session. I would book probably either an hour and a half or an hour long session and kind of look at how do we clear out that sacral chakra and that place, that part of you, that reality that is emerging through the sacral and up into the heart, so that either you leave the door open because everything's been cleared out, or maybe a door gets closed. I never know until we go in what needs to happen, but there's some shifting things that needs to happen to get you into a clearer space.
So sometimes it's not so good to try to do something before it's some work about cleansing all these traumas and all the stuff from all chakras. Yeah.
Yeah, shadow work is super important. We can't ignore it, and then open all the doors because it can come up. And it literally rose to meet you. It's fascinating to see that way that it showed up. But it's an opportunity to clear out something unresolved and resolve it.
Thank you very much. So I see that I need to book session with you, and yeah.
I would love to work with you on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you, Miriam. The time went super fast, and I thank you for oh my gosh, thank you just for being you. It's just so
Yeah,
incredible.
the comments on the question is thank you, Miriam. That I could feel that for me as well. So lots of people were resonating with some of the answers that you were giving. I know for me personally, when you started talking about the shadow self and starting having that rise to meet you, I know I've struggled with that. Actually, let me just ask you, do you see or can you tap into that for me? Because sometimes I feel like I get that in my mind. I understand the shadow side, but I feel like sometimes I just want to be the nice version of me all the time because I tend to be really empathic and govern the feelings of other people, especially it started with my mom. But so I may kind of shy away from my shadow side sometimes, even though I'm actively working to embrace that inner badass, right? But like, but I also know that there's an aspect of me that doesn't always want to see maybe the sides of me that, or the places of me that have, caused harm on people or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, when looking at the shadow, I like to think about Inanna and her descent to the underworld. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend reading
Okay.
this story because she descends and she meets her dark sister, which is her shadow self, and that dark sister is pissed. So like there's a reckoning that happens. Like she kills her, she literally kills her, but then she comes back to life. So it's just a beautiful it's a myth that is so true because it speaks to what happens when we kind of push down this like less desirable part and try to be queen of the upper world and queen
Yeah.
of the, that's who Inanna was, queen or is queen of the upper world and queen of this world. But to get back to your question around the shadow, for you, when I tune into it, what I feel is that it's like almost not embedded with, but somehow, yeah, embedded is kind of the best word that I have here. But it's like I can feel it in the lower part of your spine, and then also kind of temples and crown. So it's like she's almost like woven through, and she's there, and I feel like this staunchness, this kind of stiffness that's almost gets away of maybe
Ah, I gotcha.
yeah, and we tend to build up this shadow work as if it's gonna take us off track or keep us from being loving to those in our worlds. But when we actually show that love to this part of ourself that we haven't been embracing consciously, it enhances our capacity to love
Yeah.
others totally, right? Because
Yeah.
nobody's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. It gives us the opportunity to love unconditionally, to love even those that we might consider adversaries, right? Or that we might be like having this, like maybe it's political battle, right? Whatever it is. But when we can love that shadow part of ourselves, then and fully love, then we can have the compassion to love others. Thank you.
Yeah, we
Wow.
also, the other thing that I'll name as you're talking about shadow work is when you love that shadow part, you're going to reveal hidden gifts because they're hidden in the shadows. Like your greatest potential is hidden in the shadows. So you will come back more badass than ever. So highly recommend this work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What are some good ways we can learn to love our shadows? What are some good ways that you work with your shadow?
Yeah. Good ways to learn to live. I would notice, well, one of the ways to track your shadow is to notice who you are hating on,
Yeah.
right? Like if there's someone out there who you're like, I cannot stand them. Maybe it's a politician, maybe it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that is a mirror that is shining
Yeah.
attention on a part of you that you have disowned, right? And so starting to feel into like, well, where in me am I hiding this kind of thing that I hate, right? And then starting to make peace with it, starting to get to know this part of yourself. For me, the shamanic journey is the tool that helps me to access parts of myself that are not, I'm not consciously aware of. Meditation can be another tool, or automatic writing. You could start a conversation with yourself, like open with one pen or with one hand, switch hands, be the other person, right? Or just write that, shadow, and then write stream of consciousness, anything that comes through. Don't edit yourself and allow yourself to have that conversation. You'll unearth some really interesting stuff.
Wow.
Thank you. I'm putting that in my whisper book.
Usually when I see Lianka like writing, she's like, here we go. We both put out our whispers.
Oh, they're beautiful.
All right. I get it. Can you just acknowledge, like, love the imagery. I mean, it's like you will put something, they'll say something that's, somebody could be like, well, just stop doing that, And then you come in and there's this beautiful imagery of Mother Gaia and holding and rocking, or, and you'll bring out these stories, and it's just like, and then you just re-fall in love with it, with everything. And I just think it's just so, so cool how you work. We don't know anybody else like you. It's just super cool. So thank you. I wanted to share how you can work with Miriam. We'll pull up this little offer. Miriam, you want to talk about what a session is?
Yeah, so here I am piloting, spinning off. I keep spinning off like little mini sessions that I think will be interesting and a good taste of what I do or what I can do. So in this particular go around, what we're going to offer, what we're offering is a curse unraveling session. And I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to. And yet, most often when people come to me with these kinds of situations, they're like, well, I know people don't really believe in curses, and maybe this is crazy, but this is what's been happening. And so a lot of us have these situations where there's like repeated bad luck or family issues that just can't get cleared, something that feels really heavy that's been with you for a while or started suddenly and just feels really, really sludgy and is not shifted by traditional means. So what we can offer for this is a quantum curse unraveling. This is similar to what we were talking about with going back through the timeline and finding the source of something. But with curses, it has to be done in, I'd say, like a quarantine kind of way. We're working in a way that is particularly safe, guarded, because you don't want this kind of energy to leach out into other parts of your life. And so I have guides who I work with. They are divine feminine or goddesses. And we work to unravel curses or stuck energy from this safe space. And I'll say another way of thinking of a curse is also that you can have an entrenched relationship with a pattern, with an idea that has become like a spell to you, and it's become like a thought form that cannot be shifted. So whether this feels like an energy that's come through your ancestry, whether it feels like something that's come through a negative interaction with a coworker, with a family member, or whether it's an idea that just seems to possess you that you just cannot shake, this type of quantum curse unraveling session would be appropriate for all of those, any of those. So, and I'm offering it for $97, and the usual price is $333. And it's also just a way to get like a little taste of what shamanic work can do. This kind of exciting, mystical, earth-based practice.
Wow. Well, thank you. That is a huge discount you're offering for our
price. This isn't just one of those fake prices either. That is actually what she charges a session.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and in most cases, I
I
just
saw it.
felt like it's important for you guys to acknowledge that
Yeah.
remarkable offer.
Thank you, Miriam. It is it's always a treat to have you here, but to have you give this opportunity for people to choose themselves, for Svetlana to have a session to get that cleared. I think it's quite fascinating that you are tackling even the topic of curses, right?
Mhm.
And so this is where people can really feel safe and heard. is really what I took away from that. Like I felt myself leaning forward and I'm like, I wonder if I have had a curse put on
Yeah.
me ever, right?
Yeah,
Not that I have something that I'm looping, but just out of curiosity and what those look like. So I think this is really for those people who, even if you may or not know what that looks like, you should probably check it out.
Yeah, and curses, they don't have to be the conscious kind. Like we're all familiar with these, like there's someone who has these spiritual tools and they concoct something particular to like send negative energy your way. There are also casual cursing, right? Like people who have malicious thoughts about you and their thought forms are really powerful and have
Wow.
repetition and staying power. Like these are forms of curses or spells as well that can impact us negatively.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's so funny because I wasn't gonna say it, but then I said it. When Lianka and I were working together years and years ago, probably 2014, 2013, and we went to an event together and we were at the bar talking about people putting spells on us. And we were kind of talking about it like they were doing it on purpose. But when I just sat here while you were talking about the special offer, and I said, Lianka, that time we were at the bar with the spell casting, and what I really got just now is that that's happening all day, all the time with projections of like people projecting what they think that you are upon you.
mhm.
And that, I mean, that's just the lightest form of them. So I
Yes.
just, I just was like, oh, I really get it now. And
Yeah.
that's the first time it just landed like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it happens all the time. We are powerful creator beings. Our
Right.
thoughts and energies and emotions have power. So
Yeah.
it's a valuable thing to be aware of as, as people who have that power, how to use
Yeah.
it, and how to recognize when others' power is impacting us.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank
Fabulous.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you,
you.
Miriam. Any party words for us today?
Well, I don't want to leave it on the like cursing, cursing.
Yeah,
energy,
exactly.
So,
That's why I
let's
always like
just
to.
shake that
We're
off.
all witches.
In the very best way. So just shaking that
Right.
off
Woo.
and
Release.
taking a deep breath. You can imagine if there's any heaviness that may have settled, any doubts or whatever, imagine that heart balloon again, that heart ball, and imagine that it is filled with the highest vibration, the most beautiful light imaginable. And that light is your power. And that light is shining out across your entire body, around your auric field. It's shining into your space. It's filling the room that you're in. And it's clearing up anything that you don't want to take out of this session, this call, this moment. It's just washing it out with light, just the way that sun can bleach fabric, just letting your own light clear your own field, connecting back into that soul essence deep within you. And you can hold the question, if my soul had one message for me in this moment, what would that message be? Listening in, it can come in different ways. And I'll just leave you with the soul message that came through for me, which will be for the collective, which is love. That is the message. So love yourself, love each other, and just carry love into your day.
Thank
you.
you.
My goodness.
I'm so sorry. Can I please just one question? Is it possible you said that it's 1 hour, on a half-hour session, 90-minute session? Is it possible to use this invitation and to buy like 3 sessions or 2 sessions together with this beautiful price offer, or it's still I need to buy on your website 1 hour session or 1.5 hour session?
That's a great question. You know what? Can you email me and give me some time to think about this? Take this offline. Is my email up there? It's probably not up there.
Can you please write your email?
Yeah,
If
we
you
can
write it
just
to
write
team,
it to us
so
and we'll get
team
it.
at howhustle.com, and we'll get it over to Miriam to get us the answer for that. So thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you very
much.
Sure.
much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. If you're looking for Miriam's special offer, you can find that at howhustle.com/live. It is right next to her beautiful picture and it has the words special offer. You can click it and it just pulls up that really great pricing and all of the information about the one-on-one that you get with Miriam for that. Miriam is an amazing shamanic healer. So I want to advise you to go ahead and if you're feeling called, do that now because she may book up. And so we only have a certain number of spots that she can do
you.
for everybody. All righty, everyone.
Well, and all the special offers are on that page. So if you're looking for any speaker or you're looking for a replay and it's within 7 days of today, go ahead and go to howhustle.com/live, LIVE, and you can get whatever you need. HAUTE, Hout.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we not only redefined it, but we also don't know how to say it in French. No, just kidding. If we would say it in French, everyone would wonder why we wanted so much oatmeal. So sometimes it just doesn't end.
Oh, I love the laughs on here. Thank you. Thank you for indulging.
See, I'm glad that I got Lianka going. Sometimes my jokes just don't land and everyone just rolls their eyes, but this one actually works.
It's always the silliest ones is the oatmeal. All right, you
This
guys.
is Oat Hustle signing up. Any other announcements, Lianka?
So yes, if you are interested, I want you to make sure that you are circling your date for Friday. We're going to talk about our inner circle. It's called the Mystique Society. It's how you really can work within, we take everybody. Let me finish the sentence here. We take everyone and we really we undo all the mics. We unplug, I am all hot.
Okay.
And we unmute is the word I'm looking for. And we really just round robin what we're feeling, what we're experiencing. But also when you're in the energy of one person who has their clairs activated, then our other clairs are then invited to activate as well. So I found that most of my clairs are activated, but usually they're people that have different clairs that they pull upon naturally. So my clairsentience, my clairaudience is one of my two biggest ones. But I also, when I'm in the presence of other people, my sense of smell or whether or not I get visuals will change. How I get the visuals, what's available to me, how I see different things, maybe even clouds in the sky. So that is all available for us. And we have a really great invitation that's going to happen on Friday. And then it also comes with a lot of bonuses. So we talk about the bonuses. We talk about some of the changes that people have had in the group and the free live event that is also happening. Not the free live event, but the free ticket that we give you to our live event that is happening in November. So it's the first week in November. We will have it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we invite you to come. It's very intimate. It's going to be super fun, and you get a free ticket to that if you become a Mystique member.
Mhm. Yes. And mostly Mystique just helps you get back to your innate you,
Yeah.
right? And then as you get back to your innate you, your gifts open, and it's kind of fun.
It is fun.
And it's fun having conversations that really one person says something and another person leaps off of it. Another person says 100 monkeys, and then another person's like, whoosh, my experience
Yeah.
being a hungry monkey or 100th monkey or whatever.
Yeah.
I experience what
Go ahead.
and it's just whisper after whisper after whisper, which is one of the reasons we really brought in whisper mapping. One person is a whisper, the next one maybe has a whisper, maybe a question, maybe they have another opening or choice that they can make. And it becomes this beautiful symphony or this dance that we have with our inner circle. And it is all open call line, so nobody is muted. everyone is just like here to, speak what's ever on their heart. It's a relatively small group so that we can allow it, and everyone is considerate of other people's time.
Yep.
So that is one of the requirements. You may have to be considerate of other people's times. But if you want to learn more, we will be talking about that on Friday, as well as just how we ended up doing the show in the first place, how long we've been working together, and you'll get to learn a little bit about our guests as well.
That's right. You can find out. And if you want to find out a little bit more about it in advance, you can do that at howhustle.com/join. So that'll give you the information about all the different bonuses, because there are some really great bonuses. And speaking of bonuses, we also have our VIP package that is on sale. So right now, Jenna just talked about the 7 days that you have to listen to the replays after the end of the summit. So if you want to take your time and be with the information, have the replays on demand for life, you can do that by upgrading to our VIP, which is at, I don't know if it has a /VIP, but you can find the button for
It's
VIP
on the live page.
dashboard
Yes.
on our live page, and that's at howhustle.com/live. And so it says VIP, become a member. The cool thing about becoming a VIP is that it includes all of the summits from before. So all that listening time, all those hours, all those wonderful speakers, plus anybody that we add from
The
to
future.
the future. So you can have all of that information. Now, this is also included as a bonus for becoming a Mystique member. So Mystique members get all of our stuff from all of the summits from before and for the future. They also, we take that information, some of the listening information, and we talk about those specific
Gosh, we really-
whispers that different speakers give us, because we really believe that the speakers have different pieces of the elements that where we come together to create the full picture. I don't believe that any one human can truly have the full picture of all there is, right? But we also all get glimpses of this. And as we ignite the light in ourselves, we ignite the light in others. And so that's really the full invitation.
Yes. Thank you, Leonka.
Yeah,
Wow.
without getting tongue-tied.
I feel like it's so interesting as energy moves. And when we're going through some of the energy, some of the light language that is inside of me just wants to come out. And it's like going to come out even when I'm trying to speak English. It seems like it's not just her, it's me too. That's why I'm like laughing over here when the words are like missing. It's just like they're absent just for a moment. Karen Tobiason's going to join us in about 2 minutes. And until then, let's just kind of take a moment to kind of find our source and our light, and we'll bring in some of our guardian energy. You want to lead this? I can lead it. Okay.
Oh. Ah.
Allowing in the frequency, allowing in the light.
Yeah.
Becoming that being that is arriving.
Yeah.
And allowing in the breath and the light to shift and integrate these frequencies of the multi-dimensional fields.
Ah.
And allowing
Yeah.
your body to have a voice, and allowing that voice to be heard throughout the field. Taking another couple breaths, just being, so that we can receive our next speaker.
And even setting an inner intention. What is it that you'd like to receive? What value would you like to feel? And anything that doesn't allow you to have that or to believe this works for you, would you destroy and uncreate?
And all the deal of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo!
Wow. How y'all feeling? Put it on the chat.
I feel lighter.
Yeah, a lot
I
lighter.
feel
Thank
really
you.
present.
I had to let go of all that yappity yap in my and those dragons have to speak.
All right, Karen, let's see where she's at.
She's not up yet. I don't think so.
It says, hi, Karen. Happy to see you again.
Okay. There she is. Perfect. Hi, Karen. Happy to see you again. We've been
And then you do that. Already starting a new recording.
you are muted.
There I am. Oh my gosh,
Hello,
I'm getting so confused. Hello, how are
Hello.
you? How is everybody? Ooh, feel that energy.
I
Wow.
know. Yumminess.
What?
Let us do an intro real quick and then we'll get going.
Okay. No, I just feel like I have been ushered into this beautiful place. Oh my gosh,
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you. Let me just do a quick intro so we've got it for later. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Lianka Reyna.
This is the Hessel Mystic Morning Show. And today we have the honor and joy to be with Karen Tobiasen. Karen, welcome.
Thank you. You know, I love being here with you, with all of your energy, with your beautiful community. I always feel like I come in, I am cleansed, and I leave
Woo!
just a higher frequency. So
Wow.
thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. You are one of our favorites, as Lianka would concur. And one of the things we love is you really understand what it means to be a multidimensional being. Do you want to start just a little bit with when was it that you knew what it was like to be a multidimensional being, and how do you live as it today?
I've known since the minute I got here that I was not of this world, that I was I was jettisoned up to visit many, I'm going to just call them spaceships. I never really quite could get my footing here. Did I really intellectually know? No, I just knew I didn't quite belong here, but I knew I didn't know anything. I just would show up and just experience. So, I mean, from the time that I was very, very little, I would be invited up to, I'm going to say, spaceships. I've been up to 3 different ones four that I'm very, very aware of. One I knew for a fact was Arcturian. One was Pleiadian. And the other two I didn't really know. But I knew that I was part of, I'm going to call it a circle of children. And we would all teleport up, and we would all play for a while, and we'd be teleported down. I had no way of knowing what was happening. I had nobody to speak with that understood, that didn't get really, really scared. And when they got scared, I got scared. So
I have a couple questions about that. You actually remember being on the ship. I was regressed and have visited a ship with my consciousness intact. Now, I also was a part of this mysterious gate program, which I didn't know was a weird thing, but it is. It's all over the TikToks. And they talk about how it's a gifted and talented program that kids were invited to do. But the bigger thing for me was that I have a lot of my childhood I don't remember. I thought it was because maybe trauma, but I was a happy kid. I did have a tough upbringing, but I was a happy kid. So I knew that I came here for a reason. I knew that. I never forgot that. I knew I chose my parents. But the part that is kind of eerie for me is now seeing people come back and have these, what you speak about, and my arm hairs get all tingly thinking about it. And you keep shaking your head. I'm just going to let you talk on it. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
have some thoughts on it.
Wait.
Who's gonna go
Just kidding.
first? What I'm being told really, really clearly is you weren't supposed to remember it. You came down, as you know, you created this beautiful life for yourself. You chose your family, you chose everything to come down. And you also you chose to come down. You awakened for, maybe 2 years where you knew who you were, you knew your light, you knew your power, you knew everything. And then as was agreed upon from the other side, then everything, you went into the forgetting who you were.
Yeah.
Forgot about your light, forgot. And I refer to it as all of the wounding where you're not able to look in and go, wow, no, I'm a very powerful light. I literally have the capacity, and everybody sitting here today watching, and anybody who watches this later, you have the capacity within you to launch a whole universe.
Mhm.
So you just chose to forget that. I call it wounding. And where you're at right now is healing those wounds, healing all of the forgetfulness. And when you look inward and see who you are, you see the light, you feel the light, you have a sense of purpose.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah. My thought was, is she a walk-in? Or have, some
I don't think
transition
so.
like that. Because that was the first thing that came through. And yeah. I feel like a lot of mine was because of that.
I think
Maybe.
mine was because I was on a ship as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
I have, you know what? I'm actually going to be talking about this. I don't use the term walk-in because I remember years and years and years ago when it was first introduced to me, and there was some energy around being the walk-in or whatever. And so I have a different way of looking at it.
Okay.
Walking kind of feels a little bit spooky wooky to me, that why was I plucked out? Why did a new one of me come in?
Right.
What happened to the old one? Anyway, so that's just me
Yeah.
in my childhood brain. But what I am going to be talking about today is really about awakening our star seed gifts.
Yes.
And the gifts from our starseed families, and why we oftentimes feel like, oh my gosh, I just completed this whole cycle, and now I have a whole new world sitting right in front of me.
Wow.
And what's happening?
Okay.
And so I can launch in now.
Yeah, go for
Yes,
it.
this sounds juicy. See how we
It's-
get here?
It's so juicy. It is so beautiful. I'm so excited about this.
Yes.
So what I'm going to start with, as an adult, I've always known that that I was Pleiadian. I've always had a really beautiful connection with the Pleiadians. And yet I have had experiences on an Arcturian ship. And so I always just kind of felt like confused, like maybe I didn't know what was going on, maybe I was mistaken. And what I've just recently been told from my team, and the way that I was told is, I've always known, I'm a Pleiadian. I'm the starseed Pleiadian. They're my people. I know that I'm here to help in soul healing. I know that I'm here to share radical, unconditional love. I know that I'm here to use my creativity to put my fingerprint onto the planet. And what recently just happened to me is I've always been really comfortable with that. I haven't questioned the other stuff much, but I always kind of thought, can I actually be two starseed? Can I be from two starseed families? And it's like, well, I don't think so. So what's recently happened to me is I literally have been told, job well done for your Pleiadians, and you are stepping into your agreement with the Andromedans. And I was like, what's an Andromedan? What does this mean?
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
feeling like I'm mastering, this unconditional love and soul healing and this wonderful, wonderful energy. And the Andromedan gifts they are the ones that they are the freedom seekers. They are the ones that will carve a path that nobody else has ever gone. They are the ones that love adventure, love brand new things. And I have been, kind of like taken out of my Pleiadian mastership. And now I feel like I'm a complete apprentice. I'm completely brand new. And now I am being asked to forge paths that I've never been on, that I'm not following anybody. I'm literally leading people. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea where I'm going. And it's very, very exciting, is all that I can say. So
I have a question, real quick question
okay.
about it. I mean, because I've always thought that, well, I'm not a starseed of something in the galaxy. I'm a starseed of the galaxy. What are your thoughts on that?
You're absolutely right. Within your body, you hold the ancient memory of actually several star systems and several galactic families. You would not be here now, and nobody here would be here now had you not been an old soul with so many lives. You've had many, many lives. You've collected a lot of the gifts. You have been on many, many of the starseed families. You've been down here many, many times.
Yeah.
And none of us would be here unless we were completely the best to come in here to bring peace on earth, because we have experienced everything. The more star families that we come from, the more gifts we bring in.
Ooh.
And with the more gifts that we bring in, the harder the wounding. So anybody here that thinks, when am I going to get it? I feel like I've been on this path forever. What's wrong with me? It's just you come by it honestly. You come in with so many gifts. You land on planet Earth. Planet Earth is a place that very, very, very few people have ever been able to come down and have fun. So what the ways that my guides refer to it is, we are all these old bored gods. And we looked at this opportunity to come down.
We're like fun.
It just so feels the lightest thing on
I
planet.
know. I can
It's
say I know.
It's just like, what?
I want
I've
some
never
experience.
heard anybody ever
Really?
say that. No,
Not that way. Not that way.
gods.
Yeah. More gods. We're like, I want some experience.
The whisper one of the new pack.
Right?
Especially
No,
everybody on these kind of calls, right? Everybody in this group, right? How Hustle I mean, you have to be like some of the best, of the best, the best if you're seeking out in this way.
This deep way, and you're
Yes.
taking your time to learn and endeavor and learn and endeavor. And it's almost like food that you're eating. Of course we are. We're like so desperate to remember.
Yeah.
And become and create.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
And then we chose the toughest challenges,
Yeah.
right? Like my childhood, my parents were like the toughest challenges. But at some innate level, we knew, right? We know we were destined for
Yes.
some greater something.
Right. We literally old bored gods that just like, I need a little bit. Yeah, I'm just up here, eating bonbons, having a really good time. Let's go down there and really grow. Let's just really
Yeah.
expand. Let's save planet Earth because let's bring peace on Earth because we've never been successful doing it. This is the very first time we will be successful doing it.
Saving planet Earth one howdy at a time.
Let's go. Let's go. Did I leave you hanging?
I have no idea where I'm at. I'm just with the group here. I'm not really
All right.
sure.
So I think we got stopped at we are all gods.
Yeah, I was like, what? Whispers of oneness. But when
Well,
we were all gods, we were bored. What did we do?
So we
started
volunteered.
I'm sorry.
We volunteered to come down here to bring peace on Earth, to be successful for the very first time. We have all been in timelines that we were traumatized. We've all been in those timelines that we watched our worlds fall apart. Most of you here have, had lives in Lemuria, most of you in Atlantis, Lot in Egypt. There's many other places. We've watched ourselves not be successful on this planet. And we decided, let's go. I'm going. And you wouldn't be here if you were not qualified to be here. You wouldn't have volunteered if you didn't know that you couldn't just like, oh yeah, no, I got this. And what we promised to do, unlike so few people have been able to do here, is really have a fun time. So you are here, your purpose is to have fun.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, to be in joy. Do
And
you think that's also what trips us up?
Mm.
Is that we know that there's a remembrance of joy. We know that there's this fun that we're supposed to be having, and yet we're like, it's not the fun. I don't see the fun, right? Like, so then we make it something else instead of really diving into ourselves for being the joy, right? Happiness is a choice. So I want to hear your words on that, maybe.
Well, so we all know how to find our own joy inside.
Yeah.
And where we get mixed up here is we forget that the reason that so few people have fun on planet Earth, or I like referring to it as University Earth. This is where we grow. This is where we get several PhDs. This is where we really expand who we are. And what we forget when we get here is that planet Earth actually works with two really tough energies. The very first one is the polarity of the light and the dark. And the second one is the density and the lag of creation. We're used to being up in the clouds and going, I want this, and pow, there it is. So what happens with the darkness and the light, and the other thing is our only job down here now is to have fun and to create the life that we want, that will bring out that will be really, really fun. And I love where you said, and enjoy. So what happens is we get into still point, we get into this beautiful meditative state where, we're painting or we're out into nature and we're breathing and we're just feeling just expansive. We're feeling our energy, we're feeling who we are, and we create and we say, this is what I want. This would make me so happy. This is what I want. And we're really excited. And then on planet Earth, because of the polarity, the very first thing that happens after you create what you want is that the darkness comes in, and I refer to it as like the darkness tsunami wave that crashes over the front of you to tell you why you can't have it, why you're stupid for wanting it, who do you think you are? And it actually brings forth all of your earlier wounding. It brings forth all of pokes right at all of the challenges that you have on planet Earth because of the polarity. So anybody who knows me knows that I have 2 spiritual laws. When I was given a tour of how the other side works, 2 spiritual laws. The first one is that a thought becomes a thing, our words become a thing, and our emotions become a thing. And if you don't like what neighborhood you are in your thoughts, all you need to do is then invoke. You do not want to create what you do not want.
Right.
All you need to do is invoke the second spiritual law, which is everything sent back to the light must go. No questions. And you just take that thought, send it back to the light to be transmuted into love and light. And as a masterful creator, use that as a launch board as to what you want. And most of the times we are kind of dropped down to our knees when that tsunami hits us. And all we can do is come up with, I want to feel a little bit better. I want to feel a little safer. I want to feel just a little bit more protected. And that is, you are doing positive creation. So if we create something and then we rest in our laurels of creation, we're here to create. That's all we're here to do. And
Yes, I've heard
create what
that.
we want.
Yeah.
And when we kind of rest on our laurels about our creation, what happens is the darkness will come in, poke sticks, show us something we don't want. I remember being aware of this when I was really, really young and being really afraid of it, because I was actually told, if I'm not creating what I want every minute of the day, like we all did when we were children, then the planet will just give us the drudges. And so when those drudges come in, or when the tsunami wave of fear comes in, it is actually a gift. And they want us to start looking at it as a gift and going, thank you for reminding me. I've been just kind of sitting here and just basking in this wonderful dream I have. And no, I need to keep creating. I need to keep creating. Off to the light you go. Make space for more of what you want to come in. And that's all that we're doing.
Can I ask something about that?
Yeah.
I wrote a note and it said, what is the difference between following your heart's desires and responding to spirit?
Oh, I love this. So as we create the miracles that we're asking for, by asking for them, we are no longer, in our slave worlds where it's please, 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 can you give me this? And so that relationship is gone. They are not just, what they want us to do is they want us creating what we want, and then spirit will respond.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are, the way that it was described to me, there was 2 really beautiful pictures that they showed me. The very first picture was, we like, oh, please, can I have, can I have this, please, this little porridge? I want to,
Right.
want to feel a little safer. And your whole team this is the guides, the angels, the ascended masters, that all there is. They literally look and go, you're exactly the same as we are. The only difference is you chose, as an old board god, to come down and collect the data as to what you need to bring peace on earth. We don't know. We haven't been down there in thousands of years. We're here to give you what you need for you to bring peace on earth and for you to create this beautiful, beautiful world.
Yeah. So I guess then the question might be, does your desire help you create that peace on earth?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Good.
your desire, whatever you desire, you're not making it up. It's actually summoning you forward from your destiny.
Yes.
That's
If you didn't want it, it wouldn't. If you want it, it's in your destiny.
Yeah.
even if it comes from a need, so to speak, or it does, like I want the red cherry car or whatever, right?
Right,
even
because it's going to make me feel
Yeah.
well, yes, which is what
seen
my
and heard
right,
and
right,
lovable and
right.
right.
And it
Okay.
might inspire others. Yes, I get that.
Yeah. I've just heard other speakers like, I was called to this city and, and then devastation happened, but then later good things happened, and sometimes I'm like, but if you were called, I mean, what wasn't that you wanted to do it? You desired to do it on, sometimes it seems overly significant. And I was just kind of curious your real sense on it.
So we are here to heal our challenges.
Okay.
And
so
when we heal our challenges, we have to remember that we are also healing for the earth. We're healing for more than just ourselves. I think that, and studies show that sometimes when we are called to do something, we may not just always want to do it for ourselves, but especially women, but when we know that we are doing it for others, then we're more likely to take action. So I just wanted to say that because, it's easy to want to heal ourselves, but when we are called to take the action, there's sometimes a pause there. But if we know in the heart of hearts that by healing ourselves, by doing the creation, by having more joy, it's healing others and healing the earth, then from that, if that's the motivation that you need, allow it be, right? Take that action do it for someone else, just like somebody does a run, right? A race. Who am I racing for, right? That kind of thing. So if you can't muster up the strength to do it for only yourself, then do it for the healing of the earth. Do it for the others that are going to be resolved. Because that is the goddess that you are.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. The way that my team showed me is I'm going to just use my example. They basically said, what we want you to do is know that you are connected to source and all there is. You are part of everything. And they said, just for fun, what we want you to do, Karen, is we want you to think of something that you want to give to the world. And they said it can be really little, whatever it is, you just think. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I went, no, what I want is, I fell swooped it and just said, I just want, for everybody to just see their brilliance. And it was this little speck, tiny little speck. And I literally watched it lift up out of my heart and become one with all the energy that there is.
Oh, wow.
And then I watched that blanket over this whole universe. We're right into oneness theme. And everybody that was praying to be able to see their special light, they were able to take the healing that I had done and bring it down and start working on it themselves. More importantly also is that I also watched the blanket go up to all of the starseed families so that they could take that healing and drop it down into every little star seed who's lost and feeling, the challenges are too big, so they could start their healing. So just having one little, I want everybody to, love themselves radically. Just that, and then go off on your day. The amount of healing you've been able to do, it's exponential.
Wow.
Exponential.
Thank you for that. Like I'm almost in tears.
Oh, goodness.
Right?
You opened the door for that.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
and I also love telling that story because when I did it and my little thing went up, it's just like, oh, I wish I would, why did I do such a stupid little thing? I couldn't, all that. And it's like, no, you actually did quite a bit there. You've done enough. So I say that for people that like, I know I'm here to bring peace on earth. And, I just feel like I'm too tired. I'm just on the couch. I don't know what to, and it's like, you're doing it. Loving yourself,
Right.
taking care of yourself is literally giving that healing to everybody who's praying for it right now. So you guys are powerful.
Yeah. Wow.
Each and
Karen,
every one
help
of
us
you,
remember, help everybody else know that too. We're shaking ourselves awake.
right?
Yes, we are powerful. We are powerful.
Old board gods, just give it to me. Let me, I want to talk because I want to go back to planet Earth and the challenges of planet Earth. So we talked about the polarity, we talked about the light and the dark, and that messes up a lot of us. The second thing that we get messed up in is we're so used to thinking a thought, saying something, and it appears. It just magically happens. And the other energy on planet Earth that is really, really tough for us old board gods is that there's a density. There's a lag time for creation. So we create something and then it doesn't come in, and then we think we did it wrong. We think we're not worthy. We think there's, maybe it's not for me. Whatever all of those wounding things are. Those are the wounding things that need to go back to the light, back to the light, back to the light. If they're really big, go take a nap, reboot, reset. And it messes us up that we don't have instant. So the more that we are in the light, the more we are creating what we want, the more we're excited about our creations, the more that we are in that beautiful, beautiful childhood flow. I want to bring everybody back to that beautiful time where you lined up all your stuffed toys on your bed and you marched back and forth and you told them who you were going to be when you grew up and got into this huge, beautiful high and then went off on your day. That is what you are supposed to be doing now. When you're able to raise your vibration to match the frequency of everything that you want, it literally comes in faster. So if your creations aren't coming in as fast as you want, oh my gosh, I need some dollars to come in. I've got bills and I'm feeling kind of afraid. What they want you to do is take all that out, go do something you love, go breathe, go do. I love this story. This actually happened to me. I was really worried about money. I had so many bills coming in. It was crazy. And I literally asked my team, I just said, how do I get this money to come in? And they said, what do you think is the stupidest thing you could do today to bring it in? And I said, I would like to go for a hike. I'd like to go for a 5-hour hike in Muir Woods. And they said, go do it. And I don't know why I listened, because I never did. And I went out and I came back and got a call, and the money was there that night for everything.
Wow.
It was a large amount.
That's fabulous. But you
And
have to listen, because that's not always the guidance that you would get. It might be, something entirely.
But you might get inspired action, right? You
Right.
might get
Yes.
why don't you call that person that you've been thinking
About
about
it
and
for-
pitch
yeah.
up the idea,
Yep.
right? Just pick up the phone right
Exactly.
now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And you do it in the energy.
yeah, and do it in
Just
the
like-
energy.
Yep.
Yeah, if you kind of, you know, all we are, we're just these beautiful molecules in this beautiful body, and you know, work with the molecules and make sure they're really, you know, bubbly and happy and joyful.
I love
And
that.
I do like
your
that.
vibration, you know, lifts. And then all your goodies can come in. Is we're not creating that, we are creating what we want. Our team is actually moving the moon and the stars and the planets to bring us what we want. It's not up to us, like, okay, now I need to march over there, and it is literally just put all your stuffed animals on your bed and let them know who you're going to be. You know?
It's like
Hey.
astrology in reverse.
Right?
Love it.
And it's part of it's part of the healing the wounding, on forgetting that we are our creators. I mean, if we were left on our own, let's go back to being a child. If we were left on our own to, you know, go out and get a job and feed ourselves, we wouldn't have made it. We did it by creation.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Let's
some of
talk
us
about
had,
creation
you know,
more as oneness, more as a unity.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, we get a nudge to call somebody to pitch, you know, and then sometimes the construct will come in and go, no. But if it doesn't, that might be the exact time that that person could receive it too. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think, you know, we were talking about projections on other calls. How do you see if somebody would put a projection upon of you, you're this kind of person, how does that thought and that thought frequency affect you as a being?
When somebody throws kind of a thought towards us, you know, they actually volunteered to come and give us a beautiful gift, is because we come down here, we're awakened for like a year and a half or 2 years, and then we get closed down, and then we become very invested in how everybody else feels about us. We get very invested as to we need to make people happy. We're all healers here. Most of us were the healers in our family. And then we get invested with, if everybody's not happy, I'm in danger. And so the healing, so for people to come in and throw something that has nothing to do with you, that has nothing to do with us, at us, that is just a beautiful opportunity for us, using our empathing skills. It's just like, oh, yeah, no, I don't think that's me. You know, thank you. Off to the light you go. That has nothing to do with me. Take a breath, get back in your body. What anybody else thinks about us has nothing to do with us.
Uh-huh. Now, if we do that on a regular, does that do, what are your thoughts on, does that change who they are? Like, is that a part of changing the world?
It doesn't change who they are, it changes who we are, and then it changes how they respond to us as the new we.
I see.
Yay!
Yay, wow.
I'm learning, y'all.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful and simple. Yeah, and it also, they are also reminders that all we are meant to do here is go within, fall madly in love with ourselves. It's this radical, unconditional self-love. And then what happens is our energy goes out and heals all the energy around us.
Yeah, that's like a Ho'oponopono kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I also, I always use the example of, I think Jesus was one of the very first human beings on this planet that mastered radical unconditional love.
Wow.
And he taught all of his disciples, or whatever they were called, his entourage. And when they would walk into towns, obviously I've never read the Bible, so pardon me for not having the right words. When they would walk into towns, it was reported that all the blind and the crippled would line up against the streets because they knew that if they were to witness Jesus's mastery of radical unconditional love, that they would be able to heal themselves.
Mhm. They would be able to heal themselves if they touched his radical love.
Exactly.
In the field
In the
of his
field-
radical
The
love.
field of his radical
And guess what? The
love.
field is, now we know through science, much more expanded than being in your presence.
Yeah.
And that's why Jesus's love is permeated for years. My other question is, what do you tell people who have struggled with self-love? The other day I had a client and we were doing a regression, and one of the things the higher self wanted her to do in her own words was say, I love you, and say her
Mhm.
own name in her present incarnation. And she started crying, bawling, releasing. And then after that, after she was undone from the regression, she knew that she could say it, but she still struggled with it. And she knew that that was something that was the true block. That's what it was spirit was having her to come to. What do you tell people? How do we get to that place where, yes, I hear you, Karen, self-love. Yes, I want that, but I'm not there.
Yeah, self-love is really tough for many, 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 many of us.
Yeah, and that's why I brought it up. Right?
Yeah,
It's a common thing. Yes.
yeah, well, it's very, very common. It's very common. We've kind of come down and we've been led to believe because we felt the energy outside of ourselves that we were not worthy of love. We were not lovable. Most of us came
Oh.
in and we loved people who did not love themselves. And so we never were able to have that exchange of love coming in and felt like, well, if I just was more deservable, I would have that love, or if I was worthy of it, I would have that love. And maybe I'm just unlovable, rather than, oh, I was just putting all my love onto people that hadn't mastered loving themselves, so I'm empty. So if you go back to the beginning of that, oh, I'm falling in love with people that do not love themselves, then that is the key. So go in and love yourself. And the best way to start doing that when you're coming from the wounded space of, I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or whatever, is what is your idea of self-care? So many of you, all of your energy goes out. You're all healers. All of your energy goes out. It goes out to others. And at the very end of the day, all maybe you wanted to do was come home and take an Epsom salt bath. But by the time you get home, you are too exhausted to even run the bath water, let alone you're too exhausted. You don't want to have to clean the bathtub either. And so you don't take care of yourself. So it's just, if we start with I'm going to just start with 15 minutes a day for people who have never given to themselves. It's like, if you wake up every day and it's like, what today would make me the very happiest for like 15 minutes? What do I love doing? What feels so exotic that I've never allowed myself to do it because I need to finish all this other stuff for all these other people before I will give this to myself? But give that to yourself. For me, getting out into nature, absolutely important. For me, journaling, writing is very, it's a kind of a connection for me to talk to my team. Anything creative, but just give yourself the first 15 minutes a day. And that might be just, making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and just, enjoying watching, watching the beautiful tree and feeling the energy from the tree and watching the birds and the squirrels and who knows what. But it's that start with the self-care. And before you give any of your energy out, put it in and start bringing it in. Most of us who also have, our relationship with money is, I have money coming in, but it goes out too fast. I have
Yeah.
money coming in, but it goes out too fast. The reason is because your energy in the world is you wake up, you have a lot of energy, and it goes all out to others, goes out to others. So if you train your system, I'm going to take care of myself first. I'm going to make sure I'm completely satisfied. I'm going to make sure that I'm like ready for my day because I have taken radical, beautiful self-care of myself. Then what happens is your energy is not going out as fast. It's coming in and it's building, and you actually create a system where when dollars come in, they stay. When dollars come in, they grow. When dollars come in, they don't just whoosh right out to everybody, every little crying child out there.
Yes. Wow.
And so that piece
Interesting.
is really also really important. But just take the time. Just take the time to do something for yourself that you love. And what your goal is I want you to go back to, the story of Jesus. Is your goal is that once you give so much to yourself, your light and your love, you don't need to direct it. It just, it isn't anybody thinks about you, anybody, talks to you. They feel love. They just feel love.
Oh, I
They
love that.
feel whole. They feel important. They feel special. They remember who they are. And that's really your goal, is to just have your light do the healing, not you over there patting everybody down until you're exhausted. Obviously, go, you have a child, go take care of it. You have a friend.
Well, and to be honest, when we are really in a heart coherence, most things don't really take much of us, right? It actually, when you're loving somebody and you take care of that child with this heart love, that you're actually, both the child and you are receiving as a contribution together simultaneously. I really, I mean, ultimately, I guess it wouldn't be that we would ever need to take extra time for self-care if we were in that heart coherent space. Is that what you think?
Well, yes, but we've been taught that we are not as important as other. We've been taught that, if we are really in service, everybody's taken care of except us. We've been taught that, if we were just a little bit more lovable, we would feel it. So we need to keep just trying to prove our love. And it's a really good sign that if that is one of your main challenges, it is you do have Pleiadian starseed.
Interesting.
Yes.
Cool. So some of these characteristics also have star seed links.
All of them do.
Huh. I almost knew you were going to say that as soon as I said that.
Right?
Wow.
And so we master one, we
Mhm.
master it, we turn it into, we turn it back into the gift that it was. When we were up in Pleiades,
Yeah.
we were all one big, beautiful, loving consciousness. We were protected, we were loved, we were just asked to just, go inward and express and share what our soul blueprints gifts were to the whole. So
Right.
coming down here, it's just like, I'm not protected, I'm not loved, I feel really vulnerable. And so, well, maybe I need to give more love out, and then everybody else is loved, and then we're just a really little skinny vessel that can't hold
It's very
much.
lonely when it's so lonely,
Right?
right? Yeah, because
Right?
we're not seen or heard by anybody else because
Or honored or loved, or it's just we're like these little, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember my daughter, she would write, I love you, I love you. Like that would be almost like her words. There were so many love, 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 love,
Aw.
and she's always been like, expressed that, almost like first. That's instead of I like you, I love you. Now it's like, oh, because it was so innate.
Right?
Like sometimes we don't think that, yeah.
When she was little.
Oh.
Yeah.
When she was little, I wasn't here to be and receive it though that way.
Yeah, well, she came in to help heal that. Yeah.
Of
Yes,
course.
of course she
Yeah.
did. But yeah,
She's a beautiful human.
yeah,
Oh, kids. Phew.
yeah.
Oh, if you want to get really back to your basics on being
Mhm.
seen, heard, loved, honored, creative, creators, just source, go hang out with kids.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Go
they,
color.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's those
Or
adult coloring
animals.
books now.
Idea was to go color with some kids.
Yeah,
Or, you know,
right.
go volunteer or something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Mhm. Wow, the wisdom here is infinite.
But so most of us here have had many lives on many of the other star family planets. I don't know how to name them.
Yeah, that reads.
Mhm.
And so just know that as you master the one challenge that you're mastering now, and let that go, you're going to expand out. Your container is going to be able to accept a lot more, and that's going to be a lot more love and a lot more money and a lot more miracles and all this wonderful stuff. And then you've got new challenges coming in.
Mhm.
And it's just the challenges are coming in for you to become aware of the latent gifts.
Mhm.
So if your gift is coming in as a Pleiadian and you just love absolutely everybody, it becomes then your challenge because you're here to learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
You master that one. And oh, I wish I would have known this. I have spent so much time, too much energy going out, loving too many people except myself. I just wish I could have saved a lot of time.
Yeah.
Had I just realized that, oh no, my only job is to figure out how to love myself. That's it. That's my job. I don't have
Yeah.
to save the world.
That's crazy. Well, let's talk a little bit about your new program, the Starseed Experience. I'm going to go ahead and share it now. Will
Oh
you
my
take
gosh.
us through this?
Yes, I'm so excited about
I
this.
know.
I can feel the
Ugh.
energy like
And we've been reading some of your emails, and as you've been sharing, the work around the Starseed Experience, and it's very obvious that you have tapped into what a lot of people are experiencing and a lot of setbacks that that we've had, and you help us kind of bridge that gap from those mishaps, those places that we may not feel at home.
yeah.
Yeah, our natural state is being at home, but planet Earth is it's tough energy. It's why nobody can have fun down here except
Mhm.
us. We are going to master having fun.
Yes, let's do this.
Yes, that's all we're here to do. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. We all know how to do it. We just need to feel worthy to do it for ourselves. So what the special offer is that I have gone completely in depth with every starseed not every. I've gone in depth with 7 of the main starseed families. And what I've done is gone in, taken a tour, was given a tour to let you know kind of what, kind of have an idea what the planet was like or the system or the star system or whatever it was. I go into depth with what the gifts are, for being, an Arcturian, what your gifts are. And Andromedans, Arcturians, Hadrians, Mintonkas, Pleiadians, Sirians, Lyrans. And so I go very, very deep into the gifts and the challenges on coming down here. And you know, and how to actually just kind of step forward and heal what you've come to heal on that planet. And then typically you go on to another one. It's been really powerful for people to go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I know that I am, you know, an Arcturian, and that I've been on a healing journey, and it might even be like, you know, self-healing, and that I create through love, and now I get it, so I'm not so pushed down and not knowing who I am. So we're going to go in depth to 7 starseed families. In those starseed families, you will be introduced to your guide from each of the families, and you will receive a gift from each one. So we will be dropping content like I think every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we're going to finish it up with a live Q&A call with me. So bring all of your questions, bring everything that you have. And we will also be, I don't even know what this actually means. There's a starseed activation as a bonus. I don't know what that means, but you'll get it. I have no idea. And this has, we have a really, really good price for all of you.
Yes. Wow.
It
What a cool
retail, just
offer.
one piece of it retails at $300, and we're offering it for $97. So,
Wow.
Are we unmuted?
Wow. Yes, we're unmuted. What a
so yeah, anybody who has been being nudged or has questions. I know I had questions. How could I be possibly on all these ships if they had nothing to do with me? You know,
yeah,
I
great.
and you know, and I'm learning that most of them, I've been on almost every one of these planets.
Mhm.
So I hope
Yeah.
if you're
Well,
inspired,
of
you
course
sign
you
up.
have, right? I mean, that's just like the big collectives that you've had access to.
And thank
Yeah.
you for doing
Yeah.
your life's work, your, you know, what you've been
Yes.
called to do, because you do help us avoid some of those pitfalls. I know that we talk about it being really dense here on Earth. And one of the things that had happened, and I don't want to go too far because I do want to give you a couple of minutes to say your parting words, but one of the things that I realized was that we lost one of my friend's children to suicide, and it became very apparent that this young person, as a teenager, could not understand why she felt so odd in this reality, in this body. I mean, she was a beautiful artist and gorgeous girl, but she would always put this, like, when she was invited to do a parade, and she put this, you know, dinosaur head on because she just hated people seeing her. And I think that if she knew this information that you're sharing here, even as woo as it is, right, or whisper of oneness as it is, she would have understood much more about herself here and why she was incarnated at this time. And I think she would still be with us today. And so when you think about that from that level, people who are struggling can find more information. And when you have more information about your own self and what you're struggling with, you can find a way to more joy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and it resonates. So you don't need anybody else to believe you. You don't need anybody else to like, why do you think that's true? It's like
No, it
you know, it
Yeah.
resonates with me, and clearly it doesn't with you, and so you find your own way. You can like,
yeah. It's judge me
I'm
not almost,
I
right? Too.
yeah, I'm so sorry for the loss of this beautiful life, and I'm being asked to tell you that there are, she actually volunteered to come in, and she volunteered to have an early exit
Yeah.
in order to help other people learn to love themselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is about within the family, and this is about the community, and this is about the larger, and that she would not have been successful in her unaliving if it was not her exit point. She had a much bigger purpose. It's why everybody looked and said, oh my God, she's like amazing. She volunteered to come in and bring that awareness to just learn to love yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that, the people who die, and there's a whole movement like the Black Lives Matter.
I was just going to talk about her movement
Yeah.
that they
mean-
created afterwards. They were able to arrange these big walks, and now there's a bigger movement around in Dallas area around teenage suicide and them getting the more mental health that they need. So yes, it did
Wow.
open and uncover a lot more room for that conversation and for young people to get more support that they need.
Wow.
That was her purpose for coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her purpose. And yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I just wanted you to know that if
Thank
it was
you.
not I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
No.
also share another, if I may, as my brother, who's an addict his whole life, and he stepped over,
Yeah.
and the minute that the sheriff was knocking at my door saying your brother's no longer here, my brother popped in, and he was pretty excited. And
Mhm.
and he basically just said, my purpose for being here, he told me, my purpose for being on the planet was to get really horribly addicted to every drug I could find. And I was very successful. But then I was supposed to get clean and then help other people get
Oh,
clean as well. And he said, what I looked at, he said, I really had a lot of problems with that. And I chose to die because I know that I can help more people heal in spirit when they're high, and I'm in spirit. And so I am doing my job from the other side now. It's just
Wow.
all in perfection.
it is. It really is. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Anyway, and I'm so sorry for the family.
It's so
It's so
sad.
tough.
That's so hard for.
Karen, any parting words for us today? Thank you for that as well.
That amazing offer too. If you're looking for the offers, it's at houthustle.com/live. All the offers are over there. Right.
So yeah, so if you are being challenged with something, it is just something for you to let go of. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you're not lovable. It's not that anything in the fast as you let go and let the new one come in, you're going to expand. Every time you expand with one of these epiphanies where it's like, oh, I just need to learn how to love myself, you expand. Your vessel is able to bring in a lot more, to create a lot more miracles. Know that the darkness is going to come in. You're going to be faced with some other spooky wookies. You know what to do. You are perfect. You are here to heal that which you don't like. You are here to bring peace on earth. We are going to be successful for the very, very first time. You are not the one left behind. You are not the one that's flawed. And I'm going to leave with another story that my team talks about. I love it. My team wants me to talk about the Bible all the time. I don't know why. But they said, in the Bible, someplace, one of the Bibles, it talks about, God showed up and he created this whole universe in 6 days. And then on the 7th day, he napped. And they never talk about what he did on the 8th day. We are here, we are God on the 8th day, and what he did on the 8th day, and what we are to do is kind of look around and go, I can do better than that. Ugh, let's change that. Let's create what we want here.
Yay.
I love this. Let's jazz it up. Let's make it so much better. And we are just God on the seventh day going, woo, yeah, that was a quick creation. And now I'm going to make it perfect. I'm going to bring peace on earth. I'm going to bring absolutely everything in my destiny into my highest and best destiny in. I am going to grow my soul so large. And when many, many years from now, when I'm ready to step over, we're going to the big galactic angel wing store in the sky. We're going to buy the largest angel wings in every frequency, color imaginable, and we're going to choose our next adventure.
Wow.
That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Wow, Karen. I'm moved every single conversation we have. And here's one of the whispers that I got. We talked, Miriam, she's a shamanic healer and she does all this imagery to help us, like, she's like talking about our shadows, and she'll almost like move her hands like, here's your shadow. And you get such a visual that you almost can't forget it. And you sharing the stories from the Bible, from Jesus walking down and healing, from the story of Genesis. I mean, it truly brings it into, wow, that is how I remember. And I mean, in some way, I wonder if some of the stories in the Bible are these activations and these transmissions to remember, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my team, my team says, don't worry about what's really real. Don't worry about analytical stuff. You're a storyteller so that people can hear the story and give words to their own experience.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yeah. And in a way, it's all our creation anyway, including our belief system. So we're, just creating a dynamic belief system to create peace on earth, which may exactly be the way too.
Well, everybody here knows that's why we're here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
So
What
you're
an honor.
right. That's why you're here. Yep.
And you can't get it wrong. You're already doing it. You can't get it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
If you feel like you've kind of gone off track, it just means you just collected some data as to what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Love
And
it.
send it to the light.
Yep.
Yeah.
Off to the light. Yeah. Go, you
Very
bad
loud
boy.
today.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Thank you, Karen. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank
Have
you.
a
I
good
always
one.
love being with you and your
Oh, thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful
Everybody says
community.
thank you. Oh, thank you.
Aw.
And Tiffany says, thank you, Karen. Thank you. I'm so glad I found you. Katie says, thank you, Karen, for all your timely wisdom. Your light is so bright and you have a beautiful view. Yes, we agree.
Oh, thank you, as
Big
do
hearts.
all of you.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
I love you all
Mwah.
more than the words can
Oh.
even relay. So love you all.
Thank you.
A couple quick announcements, everyone. I promise it'll be brief.
Yes.
What are
Houthustle.com/live is your place to get almost anything that we talk about. And including, if you go to the very bottom, you can find our social media accounts. So please, in some way, we'd love if you would just contribute back with some of your thoughts in the comments or in the captions on Instagram. Choose your social path.
Hey, take a screenshot of the comment that you made here on Zoom and pop it over there or just cut and paste. We'd love to see some interaction.
Yes.
That is how the algo sends our stuff out to other people and invites more people to come and change the world. So be sure to do that over on our socials. You can do it at How Hustle Live on Instagram or on YouTube. Just search How Hustle and you'll see our picture there.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not on our newsletter, why? Because we've got some really great bonuses and you get to have all the replays plus who's coming out on our next series and summits You get that all at howhustle.com/unlock. So that basically means that you unlock our favorite podcasts and all of the goodies that are available to you. So please go over there and sign up. There's a way in which you can get the emails that let you know who we're having each day and its replay, or you can sign up for our Sunday newsletter. You just simply click and just receive the weekly newsletter or the daily. And we promise we don't spam or sell your name or anything like goofy like that. It's just a way for us to keep in communication with you. Plus, you also get invitation for our new school. You can find our school right there at howhustle.com/live. The school is a community. It's for you. It's where we put our whispers. We're going to be talking about whisper mapping. Then we're going to be talking about our quest pretty soon. So if you come and you join us, be sure to find the picture, the little button that says join community right there on our live dashboard.
Thank you.
If you have questions, you can email us at team@howhustle.com. Tomorrow, we have a great lineup. I can't believe tomorrow's Friday.
Oh my goodness.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we are starting the day with Susan Penno, and she's just an amazing psychic.
Yeah, she's been a psychic to several celebrities.
Yes.
With some of the biggest names that you might remember.
Mm-hmm. And then we are following up with Kenji Kumara, who I absolutely adore him and interviewed for many, many years. We're going to talk about the quantum and some quantum light weaving, and we'll do some really cool activations and work so that you'll kind of get in this juiciness of multidimensional essence. And then we end the day with Leonka and me and really taking you into the frequency of our work and our work together, as you may have experienced it on one little commercial break there. And the frequency that is really coming together, it's really changing a lot of people's lives. We're also going to, in that session, invite you to the Mystique Society, which is our howdies that come together every single month for a 2-hour mastermind. And we go into the depths of them becoming more of their innate being, opening their clairs, and really coming together as a community to support one another in the spaciousness of oneness.
So join us. Everything you can find again at howhustle.com/experience if you're not already on our newsletter, and on our dashboard, howhustle.com/live. With that, I think we're a wrap.
Well, a reminder that we give back to the women and children and community. And we do that through, go ahead.
Right now, we're supporting riseandup.org. It's a community and nonprofit organization that was started by children. They refurbish laptops and tablets, and then they give them to other students and people in need for the use of wellness and education.
And a portion of proceeds of How Hustle goes back to that foundation at this point, and we will continue to add other foundations in so that we can support the growth of this world.
Well, everybody, thank you for joining us.
We are How Hustle,
reminding you
to take a little time
to